United States number 280 on the calendar in the matter of Pennington versus Strange.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
You two ladies, according to this complaint that I've read, were very good friends, and you were getting married. You asked the plaintiff to be your matron of honor at the wedding. She agreed. She purchased a dress, which she paid for. There was some sort of a disagreement. You were uninvited to the wedding and uninvited to be part of the bridal party. You want to be reimbursed for the dress, as well as, according to you, a lot of mental anguish, which we'll get to in a minute. The defendant has a cross-complaint for some sort of an assault and undermining some guests' appearance at the wedding. She said that you convinced some people not to come to the wedding, and she's got a lot of mental anguish, too. She's also countersuing for an assault. Okay, very sad. How long had you been friends?
8 years.
When was the wedding planned?
September 14th of this year.
Okay, so now tell me what happened.
Okay, on September 8th, it was on a Saturday, Lori and I and a few of our friends decided to go out. It was a week before her wedding. Lori didn't want anything big because at the time her father was sick, so she didn't know if she had to cancel or not, so she did, she didn't want anything big.
You mean like a bachelorette party?
Yes. So we had decided to go to a pizza place, San Fratello's. At San Fratello's, we waited for about an hour. We were downstairs talking. Then they came up and they got us to sit at our table. And while we were sitting there, they were just talking about things they had did the night before. Now the night
Who was talking about?
It was Lori and the girls who were sitting at the table, the people standing up in the wedding. Now I was
other members of the wedding party?
Yes, her family. Okay. I have a letter from Lori.
Tell me letter. So what happened? So they were talking about something that they had done the evening before.
Right. They were altering dresses. They were doing party favors, and they were making seating arrangements. All of that I was excluded from. Okay. Didn't understand. So they're talking about how they had a good night that Friday night, blah, 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 this. And I asked Lori, when did you plan on telling me about this, Lori? And I can't remember quoted words, but it was basically, it was no big deal, blah, 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 this, and she went downstairs in the bathroom. I therefore followed her. We were both upset. Lori and I were talking. She said it was nothing to hurt my feelings. She wanted to have a family get-together, and I told her, that it hurt my feelings. I was hurt. She started telling me there was a bunch of her family members that did not like me, and...
So, something happened in the bathroom, according to her.
Yes, we got in an argument. It wasn't an argument, it was just basically our sides of the story,
But according to you, nothing physical took place there?
No, nothing at all. She was in the bathroom stall.
Okay, so nothing physical took place, according to you. Did you spend the rest of the evening together?
Yes, we did.
When did she uninvite you to the wedding?
I came home on a Wednesday, September 12th, and after work I went in my mailbox and there was a letter in there from Lori, and I read the letter, and she uninvited me.
Okay. How much did you spend on the wedding?
$115 for the dress, and that was it.
Well, then tell me why you're suing her for
I am
$115
suing
for the
her.
dress, $885.
Okay, I am suing her $115.50 for the dress.
Right.
Okay, I am suing her for my lost wages because I took off of work that day.
Which day?
Friday, the day of the wedding, September 14th.
Yes.
Okay. I am suing for my husband's lost wages because he also took off of work. And I am suing for $500 mental distress because what she did was hurt me, and she didn't just hurt me, she hurt a lot of other people.
You don't get paid for that, Miss Pennington. You don't get paid for hurt feelings. And you don't get paid for your husband's lost wages. If you wanted to go to work, you would have gone to work. And you don't get paid for your lost wages. You change your mind, you want to go to work, you go to work. Your dress cost $115.50. Okay. Now, let's hear your side of the story. Tell me first, because I read your answer. What happened in the bathroom?
When we were in the bathroom, I had walked away from the table, went down to the bathroom, and actually I was doing my business in the bathroom when she swung open the door. So of course I had to get up and, put my clothes on and everything, and I tried to get out of the bathroom. She pushed me, and she did it twice because I kept trying to get out of the bathroom. And as I was trying to get out of the bathroom, Tammy was in here trying to tell her to let me go. She's like trying to calm her down. My girlfriend Lisa was in the washroom also, and the waitress and the owner were. She grabbed my arm, and as I kept trying to get out, she would swing me back twice. I finally got out of the bathroom. And during all that, she even told the restaurant owner to F off, and it was just, I finally got out. Then the police came.
Were you injured?
Huh?
Were you injured?
No.
Okay. So if one is not injured, then you don't get compensated for injuries if you're not injured.
Correct.
You had an argument with your girlfriend. She pushed you. So what is your countersuit about?
My countersuit is about the people that did not show up for the wedding.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, there was 23 people that I had invited to my wedding that I had been friends with because of her when we met. They were all, it was the group of people we hung around with. I invited them and her family that I was very close to. None of them showed. Not one. And, I lost all that money from the wedding, of course. It was a tough decision for me to make this. I mean, if you're good friends, you don't push somebody, you don't grab them.
You also don't tell them that they're not invited to a wedding.
Miss Pennington.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Speak not. Go ahead.
And I feel that, because of that, it was not my fault She did not have to be that vulgar. She did not have to do that in the bathroom. She could have called me.
There's no question. You had an argument in the bathroom. What makes you think that everything is worth a lawsuit?
It's not.
It's not. You're absolutely right. So the argument is not worth a counterclaim. And if I understand your part about the guests, what you're saying is she convinced certain guests not to attend the wedding because she wasn't going?
Well, they probably didn't go because she wasn't going to be in it, so they figure, why
I had
go?
no control over that.
Just a second.
I mean,
First of all, she's anticipating what I'm saying, and it's irritating to me. Don't anticipate what I'm going to say.
Cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amber Pennington says after an argument with former friend Laurie Strange, she was uninvited to Laurie's wedding. Amber is suing for the cost of her bridesmaid's dress.
Ms. Strange, she's absolutely right. She has no control over these people. If she said to them, I would prefer that you not attend the wedding because she hurt my feelings, they had the option of saying, I'm crazy about Laurie, and I'm going to the wedding anyway. So she has no control over whether they go or not. So you have no counterclaim. Why don't you think that you're responsible for her dress?
why don't I?
Yeah.
For one, she left it at my house. She came to try it on there, didn't even take it. She said she didn't want it altered. And then she called me when she got the letter saying she wanted her dress back. Well, come and get it. I mean, I'm not going to deliver it to you,
Your Honor,
after
that's
everything
why
that happened.
You don't understand.
Okay.
You were supposed to be matron of honor?
Yes, ma'am.
It has been my experience, my vast experience, that bridesmaids' dresses, and these dresses were made or ordered specifically for the bridesmaids and matron of honor, they're usually the ugliest suckers around. I don't know a living soul who has ever put on one of those dresses again. They buy them, they never look right, they always, look like prom dresses spruced up. So she has absolutely no use for this dress. So what I'm asking you is, whether she had it altered or not, she was intending to be part of your wedding. At the last minute, once the dress was purchased, you told her that you didn't want it to be in the wedding. You had an argument. I mean, it's the kind of argument that probably should have been resolved. She had hurt feelings because she felt she was excluded from a party that you had before. It may not have been a party, it may just have been a family get-together, but she was very honest with you about her feelings. You may have been a little overly sensitive and a little immature. If some of her family got together the night before and you weren't invited, so what? Why would you want to do anything to spoil her wedding if she was your good friend?
It had nothing to do with spoiling her wedding. It had to be included in
No,
her
no, no.
wedding.
It had to do with spoiling her wedding.
It did not.
Miss Pennington, I'm going to try one more time. What you're supposed to say if she's your good friend is, it's not about me. You have to repeat that mantra. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. This is her day. It's all about her. And if my feelings were hurt, if I were a mature adult, I would have waited until perhaps a week or so after the wedding, maybe when they got back from their honeymoon, if they went on one and said, I just want to tell you, my feelings were really hurt that I wasn't invited the night before when you had some people over because I thought we were really good friends. That's what a mature adult does. A spoiled, self-centered person, however, 2 days before or 3 days before a wedding, to create a scene and a fuss to diminish the joy of the wedding is just that, a selfish, self-centered person. That's you. But you happen to be a selfish, self-centered person who is entitled to her $115.50 back because she did, in fact, say, you're not welcome at the wedding. You had a loss. You're entitled to that loss. Not all the other things that you're suing for. Your lost wages, your husband's lost wages, your pain and suffering, your break. And Ms. Strange, you are not assaulted in the bathroom. You had a fight with your girlfriend in the bathroom. That does not rise to the level of an assault. And the fact that some guests decided not to show up because she had been uninvited also does not create a cause of action. So your counterclaim is dismissed. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $115.50. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Never in my mind would I think something like this would happen.
It wasn't upsetting. It was very hurtful.
I can finally say this is over, it's done with.
I lost a very good friend.
I can go on with my life now.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Davidson versus Millard. Step forward, please.
Retired scientist Maxine Davidson is suing her former friend, retired chemist Merle Millard, for credit card charges that were made on a trip to Mexico.
Miss Davidson, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were friends, and he invited you to go on a trip to Mexico in his camper, and he said you would have no expense, that he was going to pay for everything. And you claimed that while you were on this trip, you had to use your credit card for certain things.
Yes.
And you have not been fully reimbursed for all of the charges that were made during that trip, although Mr. Millard did give you some money towards your credit cards and towards the bills. You still have additional bills that you want him to pay for. And Mr. Millard says there was never an agreement that he would make all the payments for all the expenses, that he was supposed to just go together. Is that right, sir?
Correct. It was a
No,
50-50.
That was your arrangement
It's
with
my
her.
understanding.
No, look at me, sir. That was your agreement with her. You would
We
share
never
the
discussed
expenses 50-50. Is that what you're telling
We
me?
never discussed it.
You never
To
discussed it?
my knowledge.
Okay, fine. So it was your assumption.
Correct.
You never had a discussion about it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maxine Davidson says ex-friend Merle Millard owes for credit card charges he made while they were on vacation in Mexico.
part. So, Ms. Davidson, I'd like you to tell me how this trip came about.
I met Mr. Millard in September, around the 7th on my birthday, at a Kinko's. And we were both doing our life stories in film. And he was very courteous, and he wanted to meet me again to talk about England. He knows where I'm from, in the north of England. And we never did get to talk about it, but we went out to dinner several times. He didn't have any credit cards because he said he had been bankrupt a year before. So no problem. He gets a very good salary from the government as a scientist. And he would pay me back. Then the next thing is he invites us in his refurbished vehicle, a Winnebago motorhome. And
what did he say to you?
He said, bring nothing but yourself. We don't need anything. He had plenty of food, plenty to drink. The vacation would be on him because my daughter was visiting with me, and my grandson then of 10 months, he invited them also. She had never been to Ensenada.
Did they go?
Yes.
The daughter and grandson went? Mm-hmm. When did you leave on the trip?
Approximately the 21st of October.
Okay.
2000.
And how long was the trip planned?
We went for 2 days, but we stayed 6 because of the vehicle experiencing trouble with a motor. We were stranded there.
Okay, so tell me what happened when you were on this trip and what you spent money on.
Mr. Millard had no money, no credit cards. He had been bankrupt. He said, don't worry, I will pay you back every penny as soon as I get my money from the government. So, of course, what could I do? I used 3 credit cards, 2 of which were stolen or lost. I never did get them back. So when I got back to the USA, I ordered more. Fortunately, they were maxed to the limit, so there were charges on it, more than we made in Mexico.
What kind of expenses did you put on the credit card?
Okay, finding the parts to put the motor back together, it was something to do with the overheating. The fan was the wrong size.
How much did you spend on the motorhome or the
close to $1,000 with food and motor parts. Oh, I don't know. He wouldn't tell me.
Answer my.
Never showed
Well,
me
you must have gotten the credit card receipts.
I did eventually get them.
How much was spent for parts? Didn't it say on your credit
They
card?
weren't separated. He had the card with him, got a lift, thumbed a lift to get there.
Let me see the bills
there
from
was
your
a
credit.
versatile.
Ms. Davidson, let me see the bills from your credit card company.
They're itemized and copied. And there are bills with his signature on the cards.
Just a minute.
That he spent. Mostly it was for food and entertainment that I used my credit card as well, because we were there 6 days.
How much did you spend altogether? And I'm not including the money for the restaurants in California.
Approximately around $1,000. He gave me $483 back in the U.S.
$739.71 is what you calculate for international charges. You say U.S. charges $130.
Plus the money spent in America.
I'm not talking about the money spent in America. Understand that. I'm taking off the dinners that you say. He said, don't worry, I'll pay you back. I'm not dealing with that. That's
Promise
nonsense.
to pay me back.
That's nonsense. So he owes, according to you, he still owes you $359. Okay. Now, Mr. Millard, tell me about this vacation that you took with Miss Davidson. Why did you invite her on this trip?
Of companionship with her, and also her daughter and her daughter's son. I enjoyed their company.
And did you have any discussion with her, as Miss Davidson says, you know, just bring yourself and a smile and a bathing suit?
Yes, what I told her is I would equip the motorhome with food, and I gassed it up $130, and propane and all that. And we never discussed beyond that. I brought $250 cash along for entertainment and food in addition if we didn't want to eat in the motorhome. So there was never really any discussion that I know of about I was going to pay for it all. I never intended to. I would never do that.
Well, I don't know whether you intended to or not, but let's get down to certain basics. This trip was originally intended to take 2 days. Is that right?
No, I mean, I would never drive it 100 miles and stay 2 days. It's 6 miles to the gallon for my motorhome.
How many days did you plan on being away, sir?
At least a week.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that, sir.
You don't believe it?
No, I don't believe that you planned on being away for a week.
Or more, sure.
No. I don't believe that you planned on being away for a week, sir.
Well, I didn't.
Never.
I would
No,
never
no.
drive. You know, that's the cost of the motorhome is gas. So
fine.
why drive it all over? You go
So
somewhere.
you paid for gas. Did you have enough food in your camper for a week?
Sure.
For a week?
Sure.
For 3 people?
Sure.
No.
Yes. Oh,
No.
Of course.
No. And what happened to the camper? Because the camper broke down.
All right, now what happened is the fuel pump began
It
to
broke
fail.
down. I don't care what. It
Yes.
broke down. Don't explain it to me. I don't care about
failed.
gaskets
It
and
broke
fuel
down.
pumps. It broke down.
Yes.
And how many days was it broken down?
3 days.
Right. And after it was finally fixed, did you go back home?
Yes.
Immediately. As soon as
within
it
a
was
day.
fixed.
I think.
And all during that time, those 3 days, you didn't have to buy anything else. Is that right? You had all
Well, what
the
happened
food
is,
and all the drink for these extra...
No, what happened
No.
is we started going out. eating out and boozing it up. And
Well, if you went out eating and boozing it up, you weren't paying because you only had $250
Yeah, I
in
ran
cash.
out of that.
And you ran out of that very fast, so you were using her credit cards.
Correct.
Did you use her credit card also to pay for the fuel pump?
All right, there was $60. I withdrew cash, I think around $100. The fuel pump was $40, and the repair bill with mechanic was $60.
I asked you whether you used her money for that, sir.
Yes.
Now, she's not part owner of your Winnebago.
No, of course not.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $359. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 66 on the calendar in the matter of Townsend versus Johnson Jones. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Townsend, you own a car,
Yes.
and your car was parked in front of your house.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't see what happened, but all you know is somebody hit your car.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And one of these two people were driving that car that hit your car.
Yes, ma'am.
When did this happen?
October 19th, about between 6 and 7.
Tell me where you were.
I was inside my house, and I heard this big crash. I got up, went to the door. By the time I made it to the door, two of my neighbors were at my door saying, someone had just hit your car. You need to come outside. So I went outside, looked at my car, and it was smashed in on the front and just stuff all over the place. So I looked
You
at
mean debris?
Debris,
Car
that's
debris.
right. That's right, debris. Was on the street and on my yard. But the second car wasn't anywhere around. So I went back in, called the police, went back out to look at my car again, and we seen debris going around the street.
So you followed the
we
debris?
followed debris around the street to another car, which was probably it was the next block. The next block, that car was there. It was all smashed in. It was not able to go any further.
Did you see anyone around that car?
I seen Miss Johnson and her baby. Her baby was in
This
the back
lady?
seat. Yes, ma'am. Her baby was in the back seat. She was standing on the outside. She was crying. She was all upset. She got her.
There was a baby in the car?
Yes,
in her
ma'am.
car.
The baby was in the back seat. She got the baby, put it in a restraint.
Also in the seat? In the car?
In the car. Not in the restraint. In the car, on the back seat. She took the baby out of the back seat, put it in the restraint, and she, in the little baby car seat, she set it on the street. And I forgot, someone said, you need to get that baby out the street. So she got the baby out the street. And by that time, the police come. When the police come, Mr. Dennis.
This gentleman here?
Yes, this man here and his mother come up.
Now, he wasn't there when you first got to the scene?
No, he was not there.
Okay.
Okay, he was not there. He and his mother come up. The police officer was talking to Miss Johnson first. She was all upset. She was crying. When Dennis come up, the police officer was asking them, why did he leave? And he was saying that her father was trying to kill him. He had wrapped the seatbelt around his neck, and they were fighting, and he was trying to get away from him, which made him put his foot on the gas and run into my car.
Okay, and that's all you know about
And
this?
that's all I know.
Okay.
So, well, there's one more thing. Dennis said that he would pay for my car. They said they would pay for it. They were sorry about it, but they never have. She has insurance on the car, but the insurance refused to pay for it because she was not the driver. He was, and he doesn't have any license. So that's why we're here today. I feel like they need to pay for my car.
Who wants to talk first?
I will.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I was standing in the front yard. My dad chased him down the street and grabbed
Chased who down the street?
him. He was driving.
Is he your boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he the father of this baby?
Yes, ma'am.
That was in the back seat of the car?
Yes. And the baby was in a restraint, but by the time she'd gotten there, I'd gotten the baby out of the car and was sitting in the back seat holding the baby. And then when the police were starting to arrive,
Let's
I
start
took
from
the
the
baby.
beginning. Your father is chasing him.
Yes.
Chasing him from where?
From my house.
Where was the baby when your father was chasing him?
In the back seat of the car.
What was the baby doing in the car?
Because me and him and the baby were fixed to leave, but I went in the house, and when I come back out, my dad had started chasing him, and Dennis was leaving to try to get away from him.
Okay, you were planning to leave the house?
Yes.
Where was the car parked?
In the street in front of the house.
Who brought the baby outside?
We had just come to the house. We had been off, and we were going to go back off, but I was stopping at the house to get something, so I had just had
So
her
the
in
two of
car
you
with
had
me.
just driven to your father's house?
Yes.
From where?
I believe we were at the movies.
You went to the movies with a baby? How old's your baby?
She's 17 months.
So you don't remember where you were coming from?
No, ma'am. A lot of stuff happened that night.
No. Now, you were just stopping off at your father's to get something?
Yes.
The baby is in the back seat of the car?
In a car seat.
I hear you. The baby is in the back seat of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Who got out of the car first?
I did.
From what side of the car?
The passenger side.
So Mr. Jones was driving the car?
Yes, ma'am.
I never got.
I didn't speak to you yet. And the car is registered in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
You live with Mr. Jones?
No, ma'am.
Where do you live?
At my parents' house.
And where does he live?
At his mom's house.
Does Mr. Jones have a valid driver's license?
No, ma'am.
No. So why are you letting him drive your car?
He bought it.
Why doesn't he have a driver's license? If he has enough money to buy a car, why doesn't he have enough sense to get a driver's license so that he can drive it?
I don't know. I don't.
Has he been arrested?
No, ma'am.
Has a DUI?
No, ma'am.
He owes child support?
No, ma'am.
Then why don't you have a driver's license?
I don't know, man.
What do you mean you don't know? Did you ever have a driver's license?
No, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
Heating and cooling.
Heating and cooling.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that where you made your money from to buy this car?
Yes, ma'am.
You work for somebody else?
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time you filed tax returns? Look at me. When was the last year you filed tax returns?
Probably 99, 2000.
Don't you think you live in a country that has rules and regulations? Now, how did I know to ask you that question? Because somebody that's stupid enough not to have a driver's license and drive a car is also dumb enough to work and not pay taxes. And I say that to you, sir, because of the defense that you registered in your answer, which I find fascinating. I'm going to get to the thrust of this story a little quicker. You went inside, your father started to have an argument with the two of you, or just with him?
Him.
About what?
A statement that Dennis had made that he said was false.
You mean that since your father was doing something wrong?
Yeah.
All right. So they had an argument?
Yes.
And then Dennis did what? Did he run out of the house?
He wasn't in the house. He was outside.
Still in the driver's seat of the car?
Yeah.
So your father ran out and grabbed him?
I wasn't outside at the time.
Oh, now Dennis is going to tell me. So what happened, Dennis?
She went in the house, he come out, and he started fussing on me and stuff. So I crunched the car up, put it in gear. About the time I put it in gear, he was right here at my window, finna hit me. But I give it a little gas, and he grabbed my seatbelt. And I looked down, when I, was going down the road, he was running right beside me. When I looked down to grab the seatbelt off my neck, because he was pulling it tight on me. And when I looked down, boom, I hit her car. Which her car was like 3 foot away from the curb and unlegally parked.
That's his defense, Bird. His defense is he's not responsible because her car was parked the wrong way on the street.
Oh,
That's
that's
his
good.
defense.
That's good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How can you dare to say that this accident occurred because her car, which was stationary, that, you know what that means? That means standing still, not moving.
And later today,
He said that he had gotten himself arrested for a mistaken identity, is what he told me.
He got himself arrested for a mistaken identity? I didn't know the last time I looked in the penal law that was a crime.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janice Townsend claims Leanne Johnson and her boyfriend, Dennis Jones, hit her parked car and fled the scene. Dennis says Leanne's angry father was chasing him when he lost control of his vehicle.
How can you dare to say that this accident occurred because her car, which was stationary, that, you know what that means? That means standing still, not moving. And you, who don't have a driver's license, who's not allowed to be behind the wheel, is not responsible. You want to explain that to me? If you weren't doing the wrong thing and driving a car, this wouldn't have happened.
That's true.
That's true. Oh, you have a picture of the damage to the car, please? This is not a new car, right?
That's right.
But you're entitled to have your car in the same condition as it was before
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wonderful over here hit it.
Yes, ma'am.
So even though it's expensive to put your car back into condition, you're entitled to it. How long have you been working at this heating and cooling company?
For about a year.
You paid in check or cash?
Okay.
Cash. Well, you better start saving your cash. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,692.05. Thank you.
Oh, he's all excused. You may step out.
I was thoroughly shocked.
Yeah, I feel bad that it happened.
My car was sitting in front of the house.
I'm sorry can't get along with her now.
Minded its own business. When they were fighting, they hit my car.
Don't be driving.
Justice.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Wagoner versus Rockema, step forward, please.
Truck driver Michael Wagoner and his wife Gabriella are suing their former landlord, foreman Shane Rockema, for destroying their furniture. Shane says the couple's accusations are ridiculous.
You rented a house from the defendant, is that right? He had a piece of property, and there were two houses on the property. You rented one house. He lives in the other.
The back house is a garage that he made into a house.
For himself?
Yes.
And what was the rent on the house you were renting?
$550.
That a pretty good rent?
Very cheap.
Why do you think it was so cheap?
Because he was, before I lived there, he had a problem with some other tenants that were there, and they had major drug problem there, and so he offered it to me afterwards. And
had you known him before?
I've known Shane for about 5 years.
And what you're suing him for is, you say that he, while he was under the influence of drugs, tore down the walls in your house and ruined your furniture with dust.
Scratched up my furniture as well.
Tell me about that.
Well, on the 22nd of April, I came home and I saw a big old pile of debris out in my front yard. Kept on walking, and I walked up to the door. I opened up the door.
Of your house?
Yes, and I looked, and all the walls were torn out. Everything. I have pictures here to show that the walls were torn out.
Can I see it, please?
Mm-hmm.
On April 1st, had you paid your rent?
Yes.
Do you have your rent receipts?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please.
I take the utilities out of the rent, and I pay them myself. So I pay $450.
But after this happened, you only paid him $200.
Because he told me since all the problems that he had caused me, that I only have to pay half of the rent.
And you said what?
No, and I said, okay, that's fair.
Okay, so on May 1st, after this incident happened, you said, okay, that's fair. Here's $200.
Yes, because...
Okay,
right.
I'm just
okay.
understanding what happened. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and so when I saw that what he had done, he walked through the back door, and he gave me this strange look, and I said, what are you doing? And he told me, basically, he said, it had to be done. And I said, what do you mean it had to be done? You were working on the back, and now all of a sudden you come in my house without permission, without advance warning, and just start doing this with all my furniture here? And he said it was the spur of the moment, his exact words. Because I asked him, why didn't you cover any of my furniture or anything? And I have my furniture, all of it shown that it's damaged, right here, all the pictures.
I'd like to see it.
My big screen TV, everything. He did not cover nothing.
Okay, now I'm ready to hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I told the...
Look at me. Don't look down.
Okay.
Look at me.
I told the plaintiff that I was going to remove the wall from the kitchen to the living room and have some kitchen cabinets made up and do some light demo. We had talked about it months before.
When, immediately prior to April 22nd, did you notify him that you were coming in? Did you talk to him on April 21st?
No, it was 2 weeks prior to that, Your Honor, because I went to Colorado to see my mother. And before I went, I talked to him about it in his kitchen.
Fine. Now you get back.
Yes.
And you decide to do it on the 22nd. Now, the last time you spoke to him about it was before you went to your mother's. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you finish that job?
I did not finish the job because the cabinets had to be measured after the wall was down. So the guy had to come in and take measurements. And by that time, he was gone.
So what you're telling me, sir, is first you knocked down all the walls and then somebody was coming to take
Not
that
all the
measurement?
walls. I knocked some of the plaster off the front wall, and that's what you see there.
Why in the last 6 months have you not completed the house?
Because I don't need to go fast anymore. We agreed that if he stayed in the house while I was doing the demo, I would do sections at a time and complete them.
Sir, I don't believe a word that comes out of your mouth. I don't believe a word that comes out of your mouth. When somebody does work on a kitchen, first they have somebody come in and take measurements. They plan it out. What they don't do is they don't take down all the walls and then say, now I'm going to get somebody to come in, and now they're going to take measurements. Your problem, Mr. and Mrs. Wagner, is that you accepted a resolution of this problem.
That's not true, Your Honor.
You let me finish. If you had said, I'm going to pay you your rent, I'm not accepting $200 for the damage that you did, then I would say to you, you have a claim. But when you accept a settlement, which is what you did, you're still stuck. But there's one thing that you're not stuck for. And you're not stuck for the fact that he trespassed on your property because you paid April's rent. And he has no right to come into your property without giving you adequate notice, which you did not do. Because the fact that you may have said to him, if I believed you, which I don't, listen, I want to do some demolition and some light work in the house. And people who live 2 feet away from you couldn't come in and say, listen, can you get your stuff together because I'm coming in tomorrow or in 2 days to fix it. I don't believe that. You had no business being there. Judgment for the plaintiff for $2,000. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sullivan versus Saylor. Step forward, please.
Bartender Cheryl Sullivan is suing pipefitter Flores Saylor for the return of a down payment on a car and harassment. Cheryl says Flores scammed her into buying a lemon.
Ms. Sullivan, you purchased a used car from the defendant.
Correct.
And it is your claim that the car came with a 90-day money-back guarantee.
Yes, it did.
And
That's
excuse me?
Say what?
That's no. That's not true.
Bird, would you take him outside and let's have a discussion with him? If he can behave himself, then you can come back inside. If he can't, I'll rule in the plaintiff's favor.
Will do.
Very good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The joke was 30-30 warranty. 30 feet for 30 seconds. Which one ever expired first?
Miss Sullivan, try answering my question. If I want a joke, I'll turn on the Comedy Central channel.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Sullivan says Flores Saylor scammed her into buying a lemon. Flores says Cheryl knew she was buying the car as is.
My apologies.
It is your claim that the car came with a 90-day money-back guarantee.
Yes, it is.
You drove the car for a period of time. The car stopped functioning properly. You took it back to the defendant, and you want your money back.
Correct.
The defendant says the car was purchased as is. As a matter of fact, he's not counterclaiming, but he said that you paid him $500 of the $800, which was the agreed-upon purchase price of the car. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. When did you purchase this car from the defendant?
I purchased this vehicle back in July last year. When I purchased this vehicle, I needed...
Just a second. I'll ask questions. You purchased it in July. July what?
The actual date would be June 27th. I purchased this vehicle.
Which is it, July or June?
Mr. Saylor.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Did you see the car advertised, or you bought it from him because you
No,
knew?
not at all. Jay Saylor came into my place of business, and he knew the fact that I required a vehicle that was going to transport me back and forth to the hospital to keep my medications up. He said, I have a reliable vehicle for you. I can't stand seeing you drive the vehicle that you're driving now. I am not a used car salesman. I would never do anything to harm you.
Listen, stop with the drama. June 27th, you agreed to purchase this car. Did you go and look at it?
Yes, I looked at it. Jay was working on it.
Where did you go to look at it?
At his home.
What kind of car was it?
Mazda RX-7.
What year?
1986.
So at the time you purchased the car, it was 15 years old.
Correct.
Right.
Mr. Saylor had indicated that the engine in it was fine because he ran the things, and he was going to use it for his racing engine, so to confirm the fact it was going to be a good engine.
Now, at the time, the agreed price of the car was $800?
Correct.
And you gave him some money down?
I would pay him $50 a week through a course of weeks until finally money was paid up to $500. After $500, he said I could then take the title and have it transferred into my name.
Which is what you did?
It's exactly what I did.
On what date did you pick up the car?
The exact date that I picked up the car from Mr. Saylor was June 27th, 01.
Is that the day you gave him the $500?
There was the final payment of the final $500.
Okay, but you had seen the car previously then?
I had seen it. Was not allowed to test drive it, though, because Mr. Saylor continuously was working on the engine, telling me he was getting all the bugs out.
Miss Sullivan, you weren't a prisoner. If you wanted to test drive the car before you gave him money, you could have test driven the car or said, I'm not buying this car until I test drive it. Right?
Right, but he wouldn't
Or
let
say
me.
to him, before I buy this car, I want it to be in running order, and I want to take it to my own mechanic, which is what usually people do when they purchase a used car. Put your hand down, sir. I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
I mean, you're not a baby. You're not 18 years old. You buy a used car. You say, I want to take it out. I want to test drive it myself. I want to take it over to a mechanic. You chose to purchase the car without test driving it.
Mr. Saylor put me in the vehicle as a passenger, and he drove the car for an original test drive. When we did this test drive, he himself chose a few flaws that he wanted to have corrected. So he kept the vehicle to correct it. When July 4th came along, I got the vehicle. I drove the vehicle for the first time.
You're going to tell your story no matter what my questions are.
Sorry.
You picked up the car from him on June 27th, according to you. And when did you have the car titled in your name?
June 27th.
And did you drive the car to and from work the first week in July?
Yes. It overheated every time.
But you drove it to and from work every day for the next week. On what date did you return the car to Mr. Saylor?
Don't have that down here. It's in my
Do you
other
recall
papers.
the date, Mr. Saylor, that Miss Sullivan ultimately brought the car back to you?
Yes, I do.
What was the date?
29th of July.
So she had the car approximately a month and 2 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I had the car 2 weeks.
No.
to the day,
If you
14
don't know,
days.
listen, don't speak to him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Sullivan says Flore Saylor scammed her into buying a lemon. Flore says Cheryl knew she was buying the car as is.
The only issue that I have to resolve is whether Mr. Saylor gave you a 90-day money-back guarantee on this 15-year-old Mazda. Can you show me any proof?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it.
The proof I have here is my witness, secondary witness, could not make it here due to the fact of her medical conditions.
I don't read statements. I do not read statements.
This statement states to the fact that
Now listen
she
to
and
me.
everyone else heard this.
I don't read statements, and you can't tell me what the statement is. Do you have any proof, a bill of sale that says 90-day money-back guarantee?
No, I do not have a bill of sale of 90-day money-back guarantee. But what I do have is I have a bill of sale here with Mr. Jay Saylor here as indicated to the fact that he owes me money still.
Let me see.
He took the vehicle back in good faith.
Just a minute, just a minute. Did you write this letter, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me read it. Well, Miss Sullivan, this doesn't say that he owes you money. This says that you owe him money.
That's his indication that I owe him money.
Right.
That's his
This
indication
says-
that I paid him money for him to owe me back.
Let me read the letter to you. Due to the
Yes, ma'am.
circumstances, after further investigation, it is my opinion that the engine is blown due to lack of oil, in which you were informed of on Sunday night that the car was at least 3 quarts low. In later investigation of the engine, it was found to have mud in the radiator, water pump, overflow pot, and the block. There is the matter of the $300 remaining balance, which at this time is 3 weeks late. There are also additional charges for parts and services rendered. Radiator installed, $150. The investigation of the car, $65 per hour. Water pump for new spark plugs, a lot of baloney. If you have any other questions, please feel free to call me. This is not a 90-day guarantee. This says you owe him the other $300 for the car.
The 90-day guarantee was a verbal agreement between he me, my boyfriend at the time, and a lodge full of people.
Well, do you have any witnesses to that?
I do have a witness. My witness here is Joe Lynn. Joe Lynn.
All right, step up, please.
Joe
Your last
is
name?
the witness.
I don't want to hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your last name, sir?
Lynn, L-Y-N-N.
Were you present in her place of employment when the deal was made for this car, sir?
I was not.
You were not?
I was not.
Were you present when she picked up the car?
I was there when she brought it home that evening.
Okay. What is your relationship to the plaintiff?
I'm her roommate.
Just her roommate?
Just her roommate, exactly.
So you were there when she brought it home?
Right.
On June 27th?
And I also looked the car over. I'm a master mechanic. I looked the car over at that time.
Okay. When you looked it over, did you have any conversation with the plaintiff?
Yes, I did. I told her she should take the car back at that particular time, but she told me there's no problem, that she had a 90-day, guarantee.
Oh, so she told you. You never heard him say it?
I never heard it from him, no.
All right, sit down. All right, Mr. Saylor, I assume that if I were to ask you the question whether or not you gave her a 90-day guarantee for this car, you would say you did not.
Well, there was mentioning there was 3 people present in the lodge, and we made a joke.
Well, let me hear, sir.
The joke was 30-30 warranty. 30 feet or 30 seconds, whatever expired first.
Miss Sullivan, Miss Sullivan, I'm asking you, sir.
No, I didn't give her no 90-day guarantee. No, ma'am.
If I ask you a question, try answering my question. If I want joke, I'll turn on the Comedy Central channel.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Did you give her a bill of sale for the car?
No, all cash transactions.
And the only question that I have for you, Mr. Saylor, is you indicated in your answer that you sold this car.
I did not sell the car.
What did you do with it?
I gave it away.
To whom?
A teacher that I sold a 88 convertible to.
Why would you give the car away?
I asked her, I went to the lodge, I asked Miss Sullivan what was her intentions with the car. She said she wanted nothing further to do with the car.
I can't believe you're standing here saying this.
Miss Sullivan, you don't get it.
Well, I'm not lying.
Mr. Saylor, you don't get it.
Well, she said she
What you get is when I ask a question, you answer. When I don't ask a question, you don't say anything. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So try to listen, because I'm in charge here, sir. Now, the title to the car was already in her name. How did you get around that by giving it to somebody else?
Just scrapped it. She told me to do whatever I wanted with it, to get rid of it. And that's what I did.
Well, Mr. Saylor, you see, this is your problem, sir. Ordinarily, I would rule in your favor in this case, because I don't believe that anybody in their right mind sells a 15 or 16-year-old car with a guarantee. And unless that guarantee is in writing, I would not give any credibility to her statement that you gave her a 90-day guarantee. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, your problem is, sir, you either gave away, scrapped, or sold her car. And what you should have done was say, you bought it, kiddo. It's in your name. I have nothing more to do with it. And if you feel as if you want to, you sue her for the balance of the car, which was another $300. Do you understand?
Yes.
However, you had no right to give away her car. You had no right to scrap her car. You had no right to sell her car, if that's what you did. So you have to pay her what she paid you. I'm not ruling that you gave her a guarantee. I don't believe that you did. But you exercised dominion and control over her car by giving it, selling it, or scrapping it to somebody else. And you can't do that. So judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Corcoran versus Dildy. Step forward, please.
19-year-old college student Jamie Corcoran is suing her ex-roommate, 19-year-old student Erin Bildy, for totaling her car. Erin says she was the designated driver because Jamie was drunk.
All right, Ms. Corcoran, this is not a very difficult case. You were at a party and got drunk. The defendant was with you. You go to school together?
We're suite mates.
In school?
Yeah.
So the answer is you go to school together?
Yes.
And you gave her the keys to your car to drive home because you had had too much to drink?
Well, that was the arrangement.
Excuse me?
That was the arrangement, like prior.
You gave her the keys to your car because you were too drunk to drive?
Yes.
She drove home because she was not too drunk to drive?
Right.
Is that right?
That is right.
And you had an accident?
Mm-hmm.
And your car was severely damaged? And you want her to pay for the damage?
Yes.
And you don't think you have any responsibility?
No, I didn't say that.
Huh?
I was willing to split the damages with her because there was 3 of us in the car, and I thought all 3 of us had equally were at fault. So I think I'm responsible partly, yes.
How much was the damage to the car?
The final estimate is $3,107.
What year car is this?
92 Saturn.
92 Saturn's 10 years old. How much is the car worth?
31 Blue Book. Like, it's totaled, so Blue Book value is 31.
So you can't drive the car?
No, it's totaled.
So what are you going to do with the money?
I have to buy a new car, or I can fix it and sell it.
You're not going to fix it and sell it. Because if I give you a little bit of money from her, where are you going to get the other money? To fix it and sell
I'm just going to have it totaled and put the rest of the money towards a new car. I don't have any money either. We're both college students. We don't have very much money.
Right. You know what that means? That means that you don't drive your car when you're drinking. Don't drive the car at all.
I was drinking before we left, and it was already said I wasn't driving. I wasn't planning on driving at all. And she knew that I was drinking before I left. She knew.
Ms. Cochran, let us say I give you $500, and I say to her, listen, you had the accident, you should share in the responsibility of fixing this car.
I bought a car. I took out a loan. I was taking taxis to and
just
from
a second.
work.
Well, what is it? Did you buy a car?
Yeah, I bought one. My mom co-signed a loan for me.
What kind of car did you buy?
A 96 Paseo.
Keep your voice up. Don't have to be embarrassed. Tell me how you had this accident, Miss Bealby.
When we were driving back from the party, I've never driven in this area before. It was my first time actually being in downtown Buffalo, which is where we go to school. I was on it was an overpass, and there was a concrete reinforcing wall, and it had been raining out.
What month?
It was September 16th, the night of the accident.
Go ahead.
It had been raining out, and, I'm used to driving in New York where it's raining or it's snowing, and the tires slipped on me, and, usually I can gain control very quickly after that happens. And I continued to hydroplane and lose control, and that's when I ran into the concrete reinforcing wall on this overpass.
You have any recollection of that at all?
Yeah, I know what happened.
So tell me what happened.
We, just like she said, we were driving, and the turn's very sharp. I have pictures of it. Do you want to see it?
Could you speak slow? I can't understand you.
I'm sorry. The turn's very sharp, but there were signs like 25 miles an hour, 90-degree turn ahead. Well, she was driving, and I was in the passenger seat, and my other roommate was in the back, and we're just driving, and she just went straight is what happened. She didn't even turn. I don't think she knew that the turn was coming up. We definitely weren't sliding. She definitely slammed on the brakes.
It's an accident. She doesn't have to pay for anything. She wasn't speeding. She wasn't drunk. She had an accident. That's what you have insurance for when you have an accident. If you hadn't been drinking, she wouldn't have been driving your car. I don't think she's responsible to pay for your new car at all. I think you've got to pay for your new car. And next time, take the bus.
Okay.
Leave the driving to us if you're going to be drinking. Goodbye, Ms. Cochran.
Bodies are excused. You may step.
26-year-old computer technician Maria Dina Cola for an unpaid loan to move.
Mr. Rosen, your complaint alleges that you and the defendant were dating for a while, and you made a loan to her in the amount of $3,000, and that was in order to help her move.
Correct.
Tell me when you made this loan to her.
October 4th.
And how long had you been dating before you made this loan to her?
Approximately 6 months.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding the loan.
Well, first off, we met in a chat room on the internet, online, and she was moving into a new apartment, and at the time she had the money in her account, but she claimed that her father needed to borrow some money from her for some reason, which I don't really know. And so that meant that to make the rental deposit, she would need to take money out of her 401k, and I just couldn't have her take that money out for tax reasons. And so I wrote her the check for $3,000.
That doesn't sound like a loan.
We verbally agreed.
Now tell me what you said to her and what she said to you. She said to you, I'm going to take the money out of my 401k. And you said to her, don't do that.
I said, and I don't remember the exact wording, but I said,
try as
on the
closely
condition,
as you can. Yes, don't tell me something. Don't tell me something I'm not going to believe, Mr. Rosen. Tell me something very believable.
Right. On the condition that she pays me back within approximately 2 weeks, that I will write this check to her. Now, actually, I do have the canceled check.
She doesn't dispute the fact that you wrote her a check for $3,000?
The canceled check actually has an item in the memo field that says that it was a loan. Yeah.
Just a minute.
There you go.
Show her this check, please.
That's the check he gave me, but the part about the loan for rental deposit was not there when I cashed that check.
That's possible.
That's not true. It was there when the check was cashed.
Mm-hmm. The pen is the same. Certainly the handwriting is the same. Now, you tell me about the circumstances surrounding this $3,000.
Mr. Rosen and I were in fact dating, and at the point that I was moving to a house, not an apartment. Not only did he give me this money, he co-signed so that I could move in. He paid for my moving expenses, he got me the truck and helped me move. The reason I moved, I was comfortable where I was. He thought that it was a better idea for me to move because he didn't like my neighbors. He expressed sentiments that were racially biased. He didn't like where I lived. He thought it would be better for me to move. Helped me to move, and like I said, co-signed for me to move in, took care of everything for me. Never was I mentioned this as a loan. After I moved in, he started to get more and more possessive and more trying to tell me what to do, dictating so far as what I should buy at the grocery store. And my witness here saw that he would. But the point I'm trying to make, Judge,
that's not true.
Mr. Rosen, don't speak to her.
The point I'm trying to make is that he gave me this money so that I would do what he wanted. And
just a second. I want you to tell me your version surrounding
the money.
The money.
Okay. There were some things going on in my life, and I did need the money.
For what?
Moving expenses and things like that. to move, to make sure that I was okay when I did move, get things that I needed when I moved, things like that.
Okay, and you didn't have the money.
No.
Why?
I have a child and I work, but I just didn't have enough. I didn't have that amount of money to move. It wasn't within my budget.
Did you in fact tell him that you were going to take money out of your 401k?
Yes, I did. We were dating. We spoke about what I was going to do. Was I going to take money out of my 401k? What should I do? At that point, he then said, I don't mind helping you out. Because at the time, I guess that was how he felt. There were other instances of him doing things like that, giving me money, buying me things.
I don't want to hear about other instances. That's not what we're here
In this
about.
instance, he did in fact give me the money. It was not a loan. I would not have taken a loan because I knew that I didn't have the means to pay it back.
No, it absolutely was a loan.
Mr. Rosen, don't speak. Now, on what date did you sign the lease?
To be honest,
think very hard.
I'm going to say the 14th of October. 14th or 15th of October was my move-in date.
That was your move-in date?
Yes.
I asked you when you signed the lease.
The day that I moved in, I signed lease.
When had you found the house?
Right around the 1st of October.
And who went with you to find the house?
Mr. Rosen did. He actually did the looking on the internet for me, helped me find all the ones we went to look at, and he physically took me and we went.
Now, how much after Mr. Rosen gave you this $3,000 did you break up with each other?
I'm going to say December of that same year.
Where had you been living prior to moving into this house?
A condo, about an hour away from where I moved.
And how long had you been living there?
Approximately 6 months. It was nearing the end of my lease, so 6 months, ma'am.
When was your lease over there?
October of that year.
So you were planning on moving?
No, ma'am. It was just time to either renew or decide what I was going to do.
Actually, she was being kicked out for noise complaints of the place that she was living in at the time, and she needed to move. Also, as far as proof that this was a loan, I do have an email where she actually states that once she files her taxes, that she will that she plans to repay.
Thank you.
It's the part outlined in blue, the last line or so.
I dispute that I sent him an email because after we booked.
Show this to the defendant, please. Seemed to indicate in that email that you planned on paying him back.
Can I respond? I did send him part of that email because he was stalking me, but the part about paying him back was not in the original email. I did not put that part in the email.
I did not modify that email at all.
Look at me. Don't look at her.
Sorry.
I did, that's a true statement. I did write most of that. I did not write about filing my taxes, only because I didn't get any taxes back and I knew I wasn't going to. I wrote that because he was constantly stalking me. And
what do you think he was stalking?
I was not stalking
you.
Hey. Sorry.
What do you think he was stalking you for?
At the time we broke up, he didn't want to break up. He said he used to leave me phone messages. Never once was there anything about owing me money.
Mr. Rosen, if you speak to her again, is the only part of this email, madam, that you claim that he distorted or added to the part about your taxes?
Yeah, because
All right. Then let me read to you what you said to him first. You said, my phone wasn't disconnected Friday because I was home all day and my mom and dad kept calling me and I'd been in the hospital the night before. Okay? You wrote that. Like I said, I will email you next week to let you know when you can get your money.
Can I tell you how that was altered? At the time.
That has not been altered.
Mr. Rosen!
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You keep saying it, but you keep forgetting.
At the time, he had things in mind that he still has, and what we were supposed to meet to do was exchange those things. There was never any mention of the money. What that did say was that he has my rollerblades, which he still has. He has another pair of rollerblades he bought me while we were dating that he wouldn't give back. That's what that email was about. That's it.
Where is your copy of the email?
I don't keep emails. I mean, he keeps everything that's ever sent to him.
Good.
I don't.
Let us say that somebody out of the goodness of their heart, because they feel as if you are strapped and you have a child, says, here, don't take the money out of your 401k. You'll have tremendous tax consequences. It'll be double that amount. Here's $3,000. And within a brief span of 8 weeks, you break up with each other. You say he broke up with you. You say you broke up with him. Then the right thing to do is to pay him back for $3,000. Doesn't that seem right to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So pay him. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've been trying for an entire year to get this money from her.
He would call me many, many times in the same day. My roommate saw him twice in the area of my house. He doesn't live there, anywhere near there.
I have never been in her neighborhood. I don't even know where she lives now.
If he does it again, I'm going to get a restraining order.
I'm just glad justice has been done.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah, this is case number 352 on the calendar in the matter of Gray versus Lewis. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
All right, this is like a little soap opera here. I really think I'm going to start with you, Miss Lewis, and get some background information. The lawsuit involves your claim, Miss Gray, that the defendant, who is your husband's niece, had you falsely arrested for stalking. You want to be compensated for that false arrest and for all the money that you spent, lawyer's fees, time, and emotional distress. From what I gather, and I'm trying to piece together the information that you put in your complaint, you saw the plaintiff getting into another man's car. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you see this?
In a county near my grandmother's house at a gas station.
Tell me what you either saw or thought you saw.
Okay, we were the last ones at the gas station, and it's like a rural gas station in a little county, and we were pumping gas. The lights were out because we were the last ones there. They were closing up. We saw the defendant coming.
No, plaintiff. She's the plaintiff today.
I'm sorry. The plaintiff riding in her car, and she didn't see us at first. We were just standing there pumping gas, and when she saw us, she like backed out, and when she was about to leave the parking lot, a car rolled up with a male in it, and they exchanged a few words, and they left together following each other. So we were en route to our house.
Who were you traveling with?
My mother, my sister, and my little brother. And we saw her pass in the other direction. She was in the passenger side of the guy's car. So my mom got upset, and she turned the car around and went back to my grandmother's house where my uncle was.
Your uncle who was her husband?
Yes, ma'am. And my mom...
Were they living together at the time? Everything was happy?
No.
So they were separated?
No, not legally. She comes and goes when she wants to.
But they were not living together full-time as man and wife?
No.
Okay. So you and your mom go back to your grandmother's house where your uncle is.
Yes.
Her husband.
Yes.
Estranged husband. And you tell him what you saw.
Well, my mother got out the car and told what she saw.
And then what happened?
He came out because he had the baby, because she said she was too ill to watch the baby and take care of the baby. And he left the baby with my grandmother, got in his car, and sped down the road.
And then what happened?
And he called us later that night and told us what had happened when he saw her getting out of the guy's car. And
what happened when he saw you?
First, he accused me of cheating. He shoved me going towards the friend that I was with. Then he approached him and started calling me all sorts of names. And he was about to fight him, so I had to stand in front of him so he wouldn't hit my friend.
When were you arrested?
They sent me in a mail a paper saying if I do not turn myself in, that they will arrest me, come and arrest me at my home.
What do you claim she did to you that caused you to file the police report?
Okay, after she had a confrontation with my uncle called me and told me what happened. The next morning, Miss Gray called me at my home. I didn't tell my uncle anything my mom told her. I didn't even speak to my uncle when he called that night. So she called me the next day. We had been friends. I was the only one in my family willing to accept her and her child into my family. Everyone else didn't want to accept her. So I wasn't mad that she was cheating on my uncle because I really don't get in their business. She called me. She threatened me. She said that she was going to kill me, my daughter, and the rest of my family because we're a bunch of bees and everything. And I was like, Joy, you're crazy. Stop calling my house. I hung up with her. She called back and proceeded to curse me out. And I'm like, you know what? You're making threats, and I'm tired of you making threats. So I was like, you better be careful what you say. And she was like, I'm going to kill you. And she hung up the phone. I called my uncle right then immediately because she has a medical condition that affects her hormones. And they say that it affects her mind sometimes when she doesn't take her medicine. So I called my uncle to make him aware of what his wife was doing. And he said, don't worry about her. I'll take care of her because she needs her medicine. And I'm like, okay. I didn't pay her any mind. So the next morning after she made the phone call, I come out my door into my parking lot and I put my daughter in my car. She's across the parking lot in her car, waiting in her car, looking at me. And I knew it was her because she has personalized license plates. So I just got in my car and I proceeded out my parking lot. She followed me 10 miles up the road to my mom's house, and she proceeded down the road as I turned into my mom's driveway. And I went in the house and told my mom about the situation, and she said, don't worry about it, just go to work. Later that night, I hear a loud bang on my door. I live by myself with my daughter. And I get up. My daughter's crying because she woke up because of the noise. And I get up, look out my window, and I don't see anything. I open my door, and then I see her across the parking lot with her lights on, and then she speeds out the parking lot. So that night, in fear of not knowing what she's going to do because she has to take medicine because she has a chemical imbalance with her hormones and everything. And so I left and went down to the magistrate office and filed a police report. And I said, and when I originally went there, I just wanted a protective order. I didn't want her anywhere around me. He said, in order to get a protective order, I must file charges. So he filed charges for stalking.
Do you have the police report?
No, I don't have the police report, but I have when we went to court and what happened at court and everything.
Okay. Well, just hold on to that for a second. So you were notified in the mail that you had to turn yourself in?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you given a trial date?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the trial date? You were arraigned first?
Yes, ma'am, on the 25th.
Okay, but you were allowed to go home?
Yes, ma'am.
So on the 25th of April, you were arraigned. Did you make another appearance in court after the 25th? When?
It was later on that May 26th, I believe.
Was that your last court appearance?
Yes, ma'am.
So on May 26th, the case was resolved?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a lawyer?
A court-appointed lawyer.
They're still lawyers?
Yes, ma'am.
So you had a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And you discussed the case with the lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what happened in court, Miss Gray?
Yes, ma'am. He came up and
Who's he?
My lawyer and the district attorney, they went up and they said that both parties have agreed not to come in contact with one another. And then I didn't have to come to any court dates. I called and they said the case was dismissed. Well, it will be dismissed on June 3rd.
So the case is not dismissed yet?
As long as we stay away from each other.
No,
Yes, ma'am.
that's not what it says.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly Grace says her niece, Vivica Lewis, had her falsely arrested for stalking. Vivica says after she caught her aunt cheating with another man, Kimberly threatened to kill her.
Can I see the piece of paper that you have, please?
Your Honor, I would like to point out
Certified by
that
the court.
I made a complaint against them on the 24th of March, and how convenient her stalking was to mine, because they did follow me to my home, because I got my friend to take me home. They drove up behind me, and they pulled in the driveway. But as we were traveling to my home, they were honking the horn, flashing their lights, and they were on our bumper. So when I got to my home, they came up and pulled behind me. They pulled out, and they was at my driveway, and she yelled out she was gonna beat my A, and that I got you now, B. And then she was saying something else to my friend, and I walked in my house to get my dad. And by the time I got him out the house, they were gone. And my police report was filed on the 24th, and I called the police at 9:33 in the morning. So it was no way in the world that I could call her. I have the police
Ms.
report.
Gray, I want you to pay careful attention to
Yes, ma'am.
On the 26th of May, according to these papers, you entered a plea of nolo contendere, which means you pled no contest to the charges.
Ma'am.
And you were ordered by the court to pay costs.
Yes, ma'am.
As a result of your plea of no contest, and the protective order that was issued in favor of the defendant. And I am certain that your lawyer explained to you that a plea of nolo contendere, no contest, is the same as a plea of guilty.
Ma'am.
Did your lawyer explain that to you?
No, ma'am, we
Well,
never
he should
discussed.
have. He or
We
she.
never discussed pleading guilty or not guilty. Because I told him at the trial, I was like, I'm not pleading guilty for something that I didn't do. He said, ma'am, you're not pleading guilty because you're coming into agreement that you're not going to mess with the defendant anymore. I was like, sir, I did not do this. And they should have it on court record that I said it to him because I said it out loud in court.
All I can tell you is what I read in the certificate of disposition of the case. And your case is what we call adjourned in contemplation of dismissal, which means it's not dismissed yet. But if you, as I said, stay away from her, then the case will be dismissed and the order of protection lifted. So you have no civil claim against her, Ms. Gray.
Ma'am,
You have no civil
I'm sorry, I
case
didn't know.
against her
I did not know.
as long as you pled what is equivalent to a guilty plea, which is a plea of no contest.
Okay.
You should have gone to trial, maybe, and pled not guilty and continued to go to trial. Maybe your case would have been dismissed. If it was dismissed, then you might have a civil suit against her, but you didn't. You pled no contest. Is this your husband?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is a friend that I was with on the time that she said that I was stalking her, and and he was there.
Are you separated from your husband now?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's your child?
He's with me. I got full custody of my son.
That's not true either.
Yes, ma'am.
They haven't even filed for separation papers. He kicked her out because she doesn't want to clean, cook, or nothing. And
Well,
she took the baby
listen,
with
that's
her.
not usually a reason.
No, because
I'd be out on the streets.
She takes all the money out the bank. He had a down payment, and that's why they just back and forth.
Where's the child?
With me.
With her, living with her, but they haven't been to court for custody or anything.
Okay. Does your husband see the child?
No, ma'am. He comes like once in a blue moon, so he does not come see him. He does not pay anything for him.
That's a lie. He has an order to pay her $200 a month for the child.
I didn't even get this. I'm sorry. This is
what you
I
are.
haven't got
That's
it.
what you have said.
Just a
She's
second,
had
while I
contact with me. I'm just going off what she said to me.
Then they have to have been to court.
I don't
Listen
know
to me.
or not.
Well, I'm telling you, if he has a child support order of $200 a month, which is what you're telling me, then they have to have been to court, and your brother has an order to pay support, and I assume visitation, which he certainly should avail himself
Yes,
of.
ma'am, he did.
Good. Stay away from her.
I haven't been near her.
Perfect. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It went fairly, and she's crazy. She needs some treatment.
I don't understand how would she lie and say all these things and they weren't true.
We don't really want to have anything to do. She's trying to force herself upon us.
I have had problems with them ever since I got with my husband.
We don't want to have anything to do with her because she lies so bad.
She had no right to follow me. I wasn't with my husband. He had a girlfriend.
She's a liar. I just hate the fact that she lies.
Don't get mixed up with crazy families.
46-year-old homemaker Pamela Williams is suing her former friend, 28-year-old hairstylist Shay Stewart, for an unpaid car loan and utility bills. Shay says she worked off the debt by braiding hair.
Well, I'm going to cut right to the chase here because the facts are a little bit complicated on the plaintiff's side, so I'm going to just cut right through them. You and the defendant were friends for many years, and she was going through some hard times, and you helped her out. 1996, you co-signed for a car for her.
Correct.
She couldn't get a car on her own. So far, that's correct.
Right.
And during the next few years, she had serious problems paying for that car, and during the course of several transactions, the car was repossessed. You had to go and sign a paper, again co-signing in order to make sure your credit was clean and the car was paid for. She got the car back. Got the car. You did not get the car back. But there was a substantial amount left owing on the car, even when they sold it off for whatever. They sold it, and there was a big chunk of money left off. She agreed to pay that so that, again, your credit would not be destroyed. So far, is that correct? You agreed to pay that?
I agreed to pay that with the judge, yes, but she was supposed to have been released from all
But she wasn't. She had to co-sign for you. And as it turned out, you again did not pay that judgment, so that they contacted the plaintiff. Plaintiff ultimately worked out a resolution with them for less money than they wanted, and you paid on her car loan how much?
$2,200.
So you paid $2,200 on the balance of what she owed on the car. Yes. And during this same time period, she ran into some additional difficulty. She didn't have money for utilities, and you gave her some additional money.
Yes.
How much?
It was $80 for electric and $126.95 for the gas.
And you acknowledge she gave you that money?
Yes, but it wasn't a loan. She gave it to me.
Oh, she's tripping. She's tripping.
Just a second. Don't speak. 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's $2,406 and change.
Exactly.
Okay,
however, I did include the certified mail to the attorneys when I sent the check, so I put the $3.
Okay. Your defense to this entire action, Ms. Stewart, is that there was an agreement that you would pay off this debt to the plaintiff by braiding her children's hair.
Right. That I've been doing throughout the years.
Okay. So I want you to tell me about that agreement.
The agreement, she told me that she had to pay the payment back, and that that's what she wound up being stuck with having to do, and that I owed her, and that we would make the arrangements by me braiding the girl's hair and hers. When I met her, she didn't even have any hair, and the kids' hair was in bad condition. But throughout the years and the course of time,
how many years did you braid their hair? Starting when?
94, 95.
So is what you're telling me that she agreed to co-sign for this car loan and she paid off this loan for you because from the time that you were braiding her children's hair, even before you bought the car, in 95, you were braiding her hair and weren't charging her?
No, I was charging her up until that point.
Up until what point?
Up until after I fell delinquent in my car payment.
Until what year?
97, 98, somewhere up in there.
Did you ever have an agreement, Ms. Williams, with Ms. Stewart, that she could work off this debt she owed you by braiding your children's hair?
No, actually, the debt that she was supposed to work off by braiding the children's hair was for an exercise machine that I loaned her, which got misplaced somehow.
That I've been
and
paid
it was $300. Exactly, but the machine that that was the only thing that we ever bartered hair for. That's because this costs nothing. This was, as far as I was concerned, an inanimate object. Okay, you lose it, you can do the hair for it, that's fine. But when you put out cash money that could go into my children's mouths, that's a lot different.
The aggravation that you caused her should have caused you to braid her children's hair for nothing. Just the aggravation. Twice, she was subject to legal process. She had to take 20, what kind of work do you do for
Which I voluntarily went to court with her on. To help
just a second, this is
her.
your idea. What do you mean you voluntarily went with her? You're supposed to voluntarily go with her.
I just had it stuck on my credit and that was it.
No, it's also stuck on her credit.
And that's why I went.
You don't get it. What kind of work do you do for a living?
I'm just a homemaker.
Goodness gracious me. Ms. Stewart, when somebody extends a helping hand to you, you're supposed to do the right thing. You're not supposed to do the wrong thing.
And that's what I did, Your Honor.
You didn't do
court with her.
By going to court with her, this was not her debt, it was your debt.
Yeah, but they was talking about taking her house back. Taking her house from her then.
You should have braided her children's hair until they were receiving Social Security for all the trouble you caused her. They were threatening to take her house away because she co-signed a car for you that you didn't pay for, and you think it was nice of you to go to court with her? Yes, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,409, which includes the certified mail. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. I'm better at this. Judge, this is case number 31 on the calendar in the matter of Heath versus Marple. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
You've had a lot of years of practice.
Yeah.
Ms. Heath, it is your claim that the defendant at some sort of a water party sexually assaulted you while you were riding with him on one of those watercrafts called a Sea-Doo.
Yes, Your Honor.
When do you allege this happened?
It was August 19th, about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Tell me about the party.
It was a going-away party for one of my husband's coworkers.
It was a going-away party. What kind of a party was it?
A beach party barbecue.
Was it on a lake?
It was on the river, the Colorado River, by the casinos of Laughlin.
Did you know the defendant before the party?
Vaguely. I met him one time outside my garage. And then
And he's a co-worker of your husband's?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have they been working together?
Approximately 4 months prior to this.
And what time did you arrive at the party?
About 3:30.
And tell me, what precipitated your going for a ride with the defendant on this Sea-Doo?
Well, he offered to take me for a ride, and I asked my husband. He said it was fine.
Well, he offered, but he must have known that you wanted to go for a ride.
Well, later I found out that my husband had asked him to take me for a ride, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, about what time was that?
That was approximately 4:30, 5 o'clock.
And you said okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you both got on the Sea-Doo. Who was in the front?
He was driving, I was the passenger.
Okay. Where did you go?
Well, I expected to go just, down a ways and turn around and come back. And he kept attempting to pull off to the side, and just shore the Sea-Doo. And he finally did, approximately 3 miles later, under the Laughlin Bullhead Sid Bridge. And then he shored it, and I thought he was doing, what we do when we have people on our boat, just letting the passenger cool off. And then he began speaking highly of my husband, that he's a great teacher, he's learned a lot from him, that he was an awesome man and really a good friend to him. And then I said, we've been gone a long time, I think it's time that we go back. And he said, oh, no, but don't you want to drive back? And I said, no, I don't, because I have very sore area here, and I didn't want the handlebars in front of me, Your Honor. And he insisted.
When you say he insisted, he said, no, why don't you drive?
No, he said, I want you to drive back. Why don't you just get on there and drive back? And I said, fine, I'm driving back, let's go.
Okay, so?
And so we got just a little ways under the bridge. Before we took off, he put his hands on my thighs, Your Honor, here, instead of around my vest. And I thought that maybe that's just the way he wanted to hold on. But before he got under the bridge, he pulled his hands up higher into my bathing suit. And I turned to him and I said, what the F are you doing? And he had dead eyes, Your Honor. He didn't hear me. He wasn't there. And so I hit the wake of the ferry and I threw him in the water. But the Sea-Doo wouldn't go because he had the plug on his vest. And then he got back on the Sea-Doo and we got it started again. And just a few minutes later, he put his hands back inside me. And here's my bathing suit. And he, with his right hand, he forced himself inside me. And the harder we hit the bumps, the harder I was driving. He kept pushing himself under my butt. And I kept continuing to scream at him, what the hell are you doing? Knock that off. And then he fell over my back. And I looked up ahead and I saw a man standing on the dock. And I thought it was my husband. But it wasn't, Your Honor. It was the supervisor. And he helped me. And as soon as he put his hands on me, I just got out of the water. And I turned around and I looked at my husband and the man that was leaving. It was a go-away party. And they were having such a good time that I just crawled inside myself. And I just swam in the river.
When, for the first time, did you report this incident?
I reported it to my husband Saturday night on the way going home.
Did you contact the police?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
On the 23rd.
Why did you wait 3 days?
Here's a police report.
Why did you wait 3 days?
I don't know, ma'am.
How long did you stay at the party after you got off the Sea-Doo?
Approximately 2.5 hours.
Why did you stay at the party 2.5 hours?
Because my husband was having such a good time, I didn't want to ruin his good time. I'd also like to offer to the court detective statement.
I'd like to see that too.
And my therapist's statement and my chiropractor's statement for the damage to my neck.
The police department took your bathing suit. Did they return it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they perform any tests on it?
Yes, Your Honor. They said it was inconclusive because of being in the river and the swimming pool. I have it right here, Your Honor.
I'd have to see it. This report says that you didn't tell your husband on the way home. This report says that you told your mother when you got home and eventually told your husband.
No, that's wrong, Your Honor. I did tell my husband, and then when he went to bed, I went in and woke up my mother, and I told my mother, and I showed her the marks and the bruises that he left on me.
Were there marks and bruises on you?
Yes, ma'am.
Where were the marks?
On my genital area.
Would you step up, please? Tell me your last name.
Rose.
Miss Rose, do you live with your daughter and son-in-law?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember that evening of the 19th of August?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell me what you recall of the conversation you had with your daughter?
After she told me what happened, I asked her, let's go in and let me look. I can only look and tell you what I think.
What do you mean you can only tell her what you think?
You know, how it looked and everything, because I'm not a doctor. And
Did she complain of any discomfort?
Yes, she did.
What did she say to you about the discomfort?
That it was burning and it was bleeding all around.
All around?
Yes.
So what did you do?
About 6 inches from her hip down, it looked like somebody had ground up meat. All red and dark and black.
Did you see any marks in her vaginal area?
Yes. There was plenty. It was red. It was definitely red. The whole thing was red. Both
Okay.
sides and down.
Have a seat.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Andy Heath says she was sexually assaulted by her husband's former co-worker, S. Lyle Marple. Andy says the attack occurred while S. Lyle was giving her a ride on his jet ski.
All right, Mr. Marple, tell me about the ride that you and Miss Heath took.
Well, the party started like at 3 o'clock. About 3:10, we went down to the pool area, and I started getting stuff out for the party. And then a few minutes later, her husband's yelling for me to give her a ride because she's down on the dock and she won't leave the dock until somebody gives her a ride on the Sea-Doo. So I went up and got the jackets, went down, gave her one. We put them on. We got on the Sea-Doo. When she first got on, she grabbed a hold of my shoulders. Then she grabbed my waist. Then we took off up the river. Then her hands were down on my thighs. First, she just wanted to ride. Then when she got on it, she wanted to drive it. So I pulled into the beach. She got off. She jumped in the water, cooled down. And we sat, and she talked for a while, talking about her husband and stuff. And then she wanted to ride the jet ski, so I let her ride. She got on. I got on behind her. And she took off wide open. I told her to keep it slow, you know. And then she just zigzagged down through the water.
At some point, did you fall off?
No.
At no point you fell off the Sea-Doo?
No. As we were going down, she hit a big wave, and we jumped up in the air, which made the Sea-Doo unplug, and we came back down on the Sea-Doo.
But you remained on it?
Oh, yeah. If I would have fell off, it's hard to get back on.
You say he fell off?
Yes, Your Honor.
How did he get back on?
Very easily. He just crawled up on the back of it and got on the seat, plugged it in, started it up.
All right. Got back to the party, and the plaintiff stayed at the party for a period of about 2.5 hours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yes. We pulled in, and that's when I helped her guide it back up to the dock because I didn't want her to run into the dock and hit the kill switch so we could get off.
There was another young woman who you also gave a ride to on your Sea-Doo.
Yes. On a ride.
How old is she?
13.
Did she take control of the Sea-Doo at any time?
Yes.
She wanted to drive also.
That's what everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to ride on it, then they want to drive it.
When you gave your ride, were your hands on her thighs or around her waist?
They were right below the vest, which had been right above her thighs, and on front of her, on her legs.
On her
When they
legs.
take off, you got to grab on because there's nothing to hold on to. There's no straps there to hold on to, and everything's wet. When you take off fast.
We live along. Excuse me.
I didn't ask anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were you a witness to any of this?
Yes, I was.
Oh, then I'll hear you. Step up. Tell me your last name.
Harold Tobin.
Do you work with these gentlemen?
I worked with him formally, and then he moved on, and so we became friends. And he invited me to a party.
So tell me what you witnessed.
Well, I was going to comment on Sea-Doos. We live on the river. To grab underneath the jacket to help hold on, or there's straps across the jacket for a vest is another hold-on point. So that's a common place to hold on.
So you hold
But,
on to the vest.
Right. You grab your hands
Listen to
underneath
just
the
listen to
vest.
me. You hold on to the vest,
Yes.
not to somebody's thighs.
But understand, yes, I agree.
Right? Thank you. Sit down. I live on a lake too. I see Sea-Doos all the time. You ever been on a Sea-Doo?
No, ma'am.
Me neither. Ever seen them?
I've seen them.
Ever had a desire to go on one?
Negative.
Me neither. Let me ask you this question, Mr. Marple. Would it surprise you if I told you that this 13-year-old girl that you gave a ride to had a measure of discomfort at the way you were holding her during the time that she was riding the Sea-Doo when she was driving it?
Probably at first, because when you take off, everybody about falls off.
I'm not talking
I
about
think
that kind of
you're scared.
discomfort. I'm talking about the kind of discomfort that comes from the way you were holding on to her on her thighs instead of holding on to the jacket.
No. If you hold up high, they're controlling you, pushing it back and forth. You hold down here, you're more stable.
He does.
No.
He does. He grabs the jacket or under the jacket. Life jackets come waist high. So you either grab underneath or you grab around if somebody is thin enough. But I never heard of grabbing hold of somebody's thighs to hold on.
If a life
Or
jacket's
legs
on-
or upper thighs, because that's what you call the area where you say put at your waist, but you put it at your waist, your fingers are extended, that could slip a little bit. That slips a little bit in a place where it's not supposed to be. Mr. Marple, did you take a polygraph test?
Yes.
Did you get the results of the polygraph test?
No, they didn't give me any of it. They didn't give me any tapes, and they didn't give me all the polygraph tests.
Did you ever tell anybody that you passed the polygraph test?
Yes.
Were you ever told that you passed the polygraph test?
No, I just figured I'd pass the polygraph test.
Well, according to the Bullhead City Police Department, the results of the test shows that you were deceptive in your responses, which would mean inconclusive. Did you take one?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
It's against medical orders.
Against whose medical orders?
My therapist.
Why would your therapist tell you not to take a polygraph test?
I volunteered, Your Honor.
So I don't understand why you didn't take one.
Because my doctor told me that it was against my best interest because I was heavily sedated and having a hard time dealing with this.
Can you think of any reason whatsoever that the plaintiff would make up a story about having been sexually assaulted by you?
I believe she was miserable living in Bullhead City. She wanted to move, so she wasn't happy. She couldn't keep a job. They weren't getting along good at home.
Who told you all of these things?
Just from talking to people. Talking
Was
to her.
that before or after this incident?
This was before.
So before this incident, you knew all these things about her, that she was miserable living in Bullhead City,
Yeah.
that she was unhappy at home?
Yes.
So you think that the response to that was claiming that she had been sexually assaulted by you?
That, and she had nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Like what?
She had money, because she was going to sue. She had more drugs, because she could go to the doctor and complain. So she had the sympathy of everybody that was kind of disgusted with her, and now they were falling over backwards, feeling sorry for her about this thing that happened, which didn't happen. And
Excuse
then,
me, Your Honor, that's incorrect.
What's incorrect, Miss Heath?
That I have people crawling all over me. I can't even stand having people
Would you
around
step
me.
up, please? Mr. Heath, I want you to tell me about exactly when your wife told you about what happened on the Sea-Doo.
I was about halfway home from the party.
And what did she say?
She said that she didn't want me to be upset, but that I had hurt her while she was on the Sea-Doo. And I asked her if she could be more specific, and she pretty much didn't want to tell me about the exact extent of it. It took her about 3 months of therapy and everything before she wanted me to know the exact specifics.
So she didn't actually tell you what happened.
She told me that he had fondled her and groped her
When did she tell that to you?
that night.
That night?
I tried to urge her to go to the hospital, and she didn't want anything to do with that. She just wanted to go straight home. And I thought she was like in shock, so I tried to get her to go willingly to the hospital. And
How long have you been married?
I've been married for 10 years, been together for 12.
Heath, I want you to listen very carefully to my question, sir. Has your wife ever made an allegation of sex abuse against anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
Has she ever claimed that anyone who you worked with or any social friend made any untoward advances towards her?
No, Your Honor.
After she told you about this incident, the next day, what did you do?
I pretty much was trying to talk to her about it, and she kept crying hysterically, and she wouldn't really tell me any of the specifics of exactly, what had happened. She had me go to a visit with her psychologist, and that is when together the three of us sat down, and that's when she told me there.
When was that visit with the psychologist?
It's been a couple of months ago.
Was it shortly after the incident?
No, it's about 3 months.
After the incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Had your wife been seeing this psychologist before?
Never.
Was your wife ever in psychiatric or psychological treatment before this incident?
Never.
Was your wife taking any sort of medication, antidepressants, prior to this incident?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a statement, tell them what I saw, and then my wife needs to make a statement.
Well, I would like to hear what somebody witnessed. You didn't indicate that you witnessed anything.
I witnessed a lot.
Well, let me hear what you witnessed, sir. I'm anxious to hear what you witnessed. Go ahead.
I was one of the first guests to arrive to the party. I met these people at the pool. I introduced my wife to them. I recall the incident where her husband was yelling up to Stanley about giving his wife a ride, and that she went off for the ride. I remember her coming back, but I remember her being happy when the vest saying that they hit a hard wake and it unplugged and it came off. We have a videotape showing that she had a wonderful time through the whole party. She left late into the night, and I was surprised because she got in an argument with another co-worker with these gentlemen about an incident said, and I was just surprised how angry she was on that. And the guy was holding his little kid, and after they left, I was asking him what was said, and it was something just minute, but I was so shocked how angry she was. And this was into the night.
Tell me what it was.
It was just her. Okay, what it was is that what the guy told me, he was holding his kid, that when he was bent over picking up something or something bent over, the guy said his boss sees him in that position all the time, and then she got angry about it.
So somebody made a sexual innuendo at the party about her husband.
Right.
And she became angry, and in your judgment, her anger went over the top at that point.
But for just that, while after the ride, she was calm and laughing, and
okay,
she was
you said you had a video. I'll look at the video. You had it?
Yes, we do.
Let me see it.
Today on Judge Judy, the plaintiff, Andy Heath, claims she was sexually assaulted by the defendant, S. Lyle Marple, while riding with him on his jet ski.
Before we took off, he put his hands on my thighs, and I thought that maybe that's just the way he wanted to hold on. But
He pulled his hands up higher into my bathing suit, and he burst himself inside me.
The defendant denies the plaintiff's allegations.
She had nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Like what?
Money, because she was going to sue. More drugs, because she could go to the doctor. So she had the sympathy of everybody feeling sorry for her about this thing that happened, which didn't happen.
And his witness thinks he has the proof.
We have a videotape showing that she had a wonderful time through the whole party.
Now, the conclusion.
I want to see the video. You have it?
Yes, we do.
Let me see it.
I can explain scenes that I see.
Are there scenes of the plaintiff?
Yes.
After this incident?
Yes.
All right, let me see after the ride.
You're doing great.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Come on, pose a little bit.
This is good music, Ron.
Oh, you like that, huh? Yeah. A little third world. It's the most beer I've ever seen Stanley drink. How you doing, Stan? You having a
Is
good
this
time at the
before
party?
or after the ride?
This is after the ride. You can see Stanley where he had his vest on, his T-shirt's still wet. It's dry where the vest covers his shirt. But this is after the
Now,
ride.
is that, just a second, is that Stanley dancing around?
That's Stanley dancing around.
All right, that's Stanley dancing.
And that was the defendant.
Was that her dancing?
She's floating in and out.
I'm talking to my husband, Your Honor.
Come on, Pam, do it.
If you notice what's going in the background, Your Honor, this gentleman's wife was attempting.
You didn't do it. Hey, Pam! Pam almost pulled Stan's pants down, but she chickened out at the last minute.
Okay. Mr. Heath, it did appear that your wife was not, at least overtly, traumatized. This was after the incident.
Yes,
I believe she was in shock, Your Honor.
You're not an expert.
That's true.
You are not a psychiatric expert.
That's true, Your Honor. I've been with my wife for 12 years, and I know her very well. And I know the difference of how she was feeling before and after the ride.
Well, you couldn't tell that she was feeling badly afterwards.
I could tell that the people that we normally hang out with, she totally avoided.
You couldn't tell from looking at that your wife had just suffered a traumatic event.
That's true.
Is that a fair statement?
Yes,
I didn't want him to know, Your Honor.
It may be, but you have the possibility of just withdrawing at the party and sitting down, sitting, having a drink, not saying anything, but you were participating at the party
I was
at this.
flying all over the place.
You were
Your
flying
Honor.
all over the place. Had you had anything to drink before you went on the Sea-Doo?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you have to drink?
Snow Creek wine.
What is that?
It's like a Boone's Farm. And I was in the pool so much, I just come back and put ice in it.
Okay, so how many drinks did you have?
One. And also this gentleman's wife and I went to the store to buy a bottle of Malibu rum. And I had a little bit of Malibu rum in with that, but then again, I just kept putting ice in it. I'm not a drinker, Your Honor.
Okay, what about you, sir? How much did you have to drink?
I had like a beer or two, and then later on I had a few more beers.
Did you drink anything other than beer?
No.
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, at the end of the party, it was strange because I've really had an enjoyable time with these people. And at the end, after it was that diffusing, she gave me a kiss, my wife a kiss, Stanley a kiss. My wife she spent 80% of the time with this lady in the pool, and it's on the tape. You see them that they're together all the time. My wife has things to say.
I'd like to.
It also says in here that she needed to be on medication for the rest of her life. And
sit down.
All right, but Pam.
Yes.
I did spend most of the time at the party with Andy, and we did have a really good time. We drank quite a bit. The bottle of Malibu rum that she did bring, I had one glass, and I know that it was empty at the end of the party.
That's
and I'll admit that we were both drunk at the party. When she left, she was very drunk. Her whole demeanor throughout the party with her, she didn't act like anybody that had anything happen to them. I am an RN, I work in an emergency room, and I do take care of women who are sexually assaulted or raped.
Did you see any marks or bruises on the plaintiff?
No, I never saw any marks or bruises, and also on the video, I never noted any marks or bruises on her.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Yes, one other thing. Stanley did obtain her medical records, and it does show that she has been on psychiatric drugs and sedatives for years before this incident. Also has a history of psychiatric problems. It's right there on the paperwork.
What do you take Paxil for?
I was taking Paxil because my mother had 29 surgeries in less than a year.
Well, Paxil is a psychiatric drug. You know that?
Yes, sir.
Pay attention.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start to take Paxil?
About 3 years ago.
So your answer to me that you were not taking any medication, listen to me. Your husband's answer.
Yes, ma'am.
So you telling me that your husband didn't know that you were taking Paxil?
Yes, he did, ma'am.
I don't even know what Paxil is for.
Lorazepam, what do you take that for?
For sleeping. Not any longer.
But you did then?
Yes, ma'am.
When was your last prescription?
Approximately a year ago.
This happened on the 19th of August, 2000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go to the doctor on the 2nd of August?
I don't recall, Your Honor.
Did you complain to the doctor at that point that you had a rash on your back, some on your legs, and also in the vaginal area?
No, not in the vaginal area. I don't remember that. I do remember
That's what the doctor reports.
Okay, well then
Miss
that is
Heath.
possible, Your Honor.
That was on the 2nd. He increased your Paxil to 40 milligrams, is that right?
I believe so, yes, Your Honor.
You also called July 27th, indicating that you were going out of town to take care of your brother and you'll run out of your Paxil. And when they called to check at the pharmacy, they indicate that you had 4 refills for Walgreens.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you had enough.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were also taking sleeping pills before.
Yes, Your Honor.
At some point, did the doctor tell you that they wanted to wean you off these sleeping pills?
I wanted to wean it off.
The doctor reported sometime prior to this that you wanted some additional medication, and the doctor explained that that would be a fraud. Explained to patient that she'll need to be seen before we can refill the lorazepam. Patient states she'll see what she can do to get in.
Yes, Your Honor.
Doctor reports that you started to take some medication due to an attempted suicide in September of 1999 owing to stress. Did you attempt suicide in 1999?
No, Your Honor. That was
Right.
September of 2000, Your Honor.
September of 1999.
No, Your Honor.
Is what this report indicates. You take a lot of Paxil and a lot of the other medication, according to this report.
Not anymore, Your Honor. I'm on different medication.
What kind of medication are you on?
I'm on trazodone and Effexor. Trazodone is for sleep, Effexor is for antidepressants.
But that wasn't as a result of
And
this
Xanax.
incident.
Yes, Your
That-
Honor.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Andy Heath says former friend S. Lyle Marble sexually assaulted her at a party. As Lyle says, Andy is lying.
There's a lot of information here. Is there anything else that you want me to read?
My answer to her complaint.
Well, that's self-serving, sir. Your answer is self-serving.
Your Honor, may I make a
Yes.
statement? Her and I did become very good friends. We have a friend in common. She made the interest in the fact that she enjoyed drinking Malibu rum, as did I. The Malibu rum was not empty, Your Honor. I still have it in my refrigerator.
Whether
as
it
of
was
this
or whether
day.
it was not, madam, are you given specific instructions when you take Paxil with regard to any alcohol?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you allowed to have any alcohol if you are taking medication?
No, and I drink wine.
You are not supposed to have any alcohol if you are taking Paxil. Is that right?
Yes.
And you were, in fact, taking Paxil, as well as other medication, on this day.
But that is not instructed on the Paxil bottle.
Miss Heath.
It is on Effexor.
Miss Heath, one of the problems is that when I asked that specific question before, whether there was ever any indication that you had a problem before this, your husband said never a problem, you don't take any medication, there was never any psychotropic medication, nothing. And so that would lend certain credibility to your statements that as a result of this incident, you became so traumatized that you now have stress, can't sleep, you're on medication, you know, all that goes together. But all that happened before. Your husband was not honest with me when he...
Your Honor, I
Mr.
didn't know.
Heath.
I'm not trying to be
Well, you were misleading to me. Your wife has been on heavy-duty medication for a long time. You know, this is a very, very difficult matter for anybody to handle in a relatively short period of time. There is no medical evidence of sexual assault. So I have to listen to the two testimonies. And I have to find to my satisfaction, by a preponderance of the evidence, that this did in fact occur. My initial reaction from hearing your story was that maybe everybody's a little drunk and he got a little out of hand. That pay careful attention to me. Don't interrupt me. That's why you ask questions, because before you find somebody, in effect, guilty of this kind of horrific experience, you have to be really satisfied. And as a judge and as a woman, I find that this kind of experience can be, and to most women would be, very traumatic. The response to that trauma would be to say to your husband, get your bathing suit, we're leaving. And then I see a tape, Ms. Heath, of you apparently partying afterwards. I would have to have some pretty substantial psychiatric testimony from a treating therapist that would indicate to me that due to this kind of stress, you may have been suffering a post-traumatic stress even during this period of time, which so altered your mood that would permit a video to be taken of you seemingly laughing and having a good time, encouraging your husband to dance. But I don't have that. Listen to me. I don't have that expert testimony.
Yes, ma'am, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You're not
Excuse
paying
me?
attention.
I'm sorry.
I don't have what your therapist says happens here because I cannot examine your therapist.
Yes, ma'am.
I do not take this as fact.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
I take as fact are your medical records that indicate that you were prescribed over a long period of time serious medication. You complained for a long period of time that as a result of stress you couldn't sleep. You asked the doctor on more than one occasion to provide more medication than the doctor would provide because he says you already have enough. You got that prescription filled 2 days ago. I'm not going to refill it again. That's objective data from the medical records. The statement from your therapist, Ms. Heath, is self-serving, and without that therapist here, I have a difficult time making a judgment, quite frankly, viewing the tape, looking at these medical records, listening to your husband, plus the fact that you decided, whether on advice of your therapist or not to take a polygraph test, despite the fact that he took one. And his polygraph test did not vindicate him, according to the detective's report, because I don't have the polygraph here either. It didn't say you did it. It didn't say you didn't do it. It said some of your answers were deceptive. But it didn't even say that you had declined to take a polygraph test.
She didn't decline. She offered to.
She didn't take it.
Right.
Because if she had taken it, they would have said she took it.
I have something very important to address to you.
Go ahead.
This tape that they have shown was before the ride, Your Honor, not after the ride.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
After the ride, I went over to make sure that I could hold myself together. And I gave him 5. I said, give me 5 to make sure I could hold myself together. And then he was nowhere around me until I was ready to leave, and he was sitting in my seat.
It was after the ride. In fact, if you look at the whole tape, there are parts in there where you can tell. At one point, he asked what time it was. It was like 6:30. You can kind of tell throughout the tape, you know, where he went and got his jet ski and took it back, and especially with him being wet. He only
There's a
went out in
pool
the
right
water.
there.
He never went in the pool once. He was only in the water twice. When she got back, we jumped in the water a couple times after that. She was having so much fun. We ran on the dock.
He walked
we
right through the
jumped
brakes
off.
next to
Mr.
where
Heath, Mr. Heath.
We jumped off the dock and swam to the shore. We were having a great time.
Before the ride.
No, that was after the ride. And if she was assaulted, why would she let a little 13-year-old girl go on the boat right after
No,
him?
don't ask them a question.
May I answer that?
No.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. Accusing someone of what I consider a vicious attack is serious business.
Yes, it is.
And I have to be totally satisfied
Yes.
that this incident occurred as you indicate.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we're not talking about the money judgment that you're requesting so much,
No, ma'am.
but we're talking about making a statement publicly that this man violated you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In order for me to do that, I have to feel totally comfortable, Ms. Heath. So what is the objective evidence that I have? The objective evidence is that you were taking very serious medication for a substantial period of time before this happened, medication that should not be taken in conjunction with alcohol. You decided, for whatever reason, not to get your husband, which would have been a totally reasonable response, immediately afterwards and say, let's get out of here. We're getting out of here. I'm just talking to you about objective data. Do you understand? The objective data is I have a report here that indicates that you started to take medication, and you've been taking medication for stress for a very long time, and in your own hand or in the hand of another professional, it does say that you did in fact attempt suicide, something that you didn't tell me. I have the defendant who probably, based upon his own statements and based upon the statements of his witness, wasn't too bright, because if he takes women on his ski-doo, what he does is he either holds on to the back of the jacket, puts his hand around his waist, and not be stupid, and grab them onto their waist where you might put your hands in and around their thigh area. That isn't smart. Do you understand? Not smart. That does not necessarily make you a sexual deviant. Okay. He says he did not do this. Your mother says she observed certain bruising on your thighs. The medical records indicate that the doctor who you saw during the month of August noted redness.
But not scratches.
There is no medical evidence of scratches, madam. If you went to the doctor immediately after this incident, which you did not do, and the doctor had looked at you and saw nail scratches, nail marks, something.
Ma'am, when I went to the doctor, he's known me so long, being so strong with my mom, that he didn't even look, he didn't even check. He just walked out of the room.
That may be. But this is the objective data that I do not have, which is probably why the police department there chose not to prosecute him.
Ma'am.
There was a prosecutor that wanted to.
The state.
He kept having it postponed, and they put somebody else in there who dropped the case.
It's been postponed and withdrawn for 7 months.
What I'm telling you is, when you have this kind of an assault, especially if you have this kind of an assault, and there was some indication that there was another child, a 13-year-old, who was not a witness here today, so I don't know that, was also inappropriately touched, then the prosecutors proceed. You may be 100% truthful. I, as a judge, have to deal with objective data. And based upon what I have seen, I cannot in good conscience label this man a sexual deviant. I cannot. Only you folks and your consciences know what happened that day. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Have the back door to your right. Now, this is case number 226 on the calendar in the matter of Stouch versus Stalling. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sarah, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Stouch, was this a first wedding for both of you?
First for him, second for me.
According to your complaint, you booked the defendant's hall for your wedding.
Correct.
You were unhappy with what you saw when you finally saw it, and you want her to give you back all kinds of money, including a whole bunch for your aggravation.
Yes.
When was your wedding scheduled?
August 11th.
And when did you book the defendant's hall?
Right around June 5th.
Where is the defendant's hall located?
In Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
And where were you living?
Kansas City, Kansas.
Why were you getting married in Arkansas?
Well, we've learned a lot about Arkansas, about Eureka Springs, a nice little village, and...
How far is it from...
It's 5 hours, but there's a lot of wedding chapels in Eureka.
So you mean you were schlepping everybody out there, this 5-hour drive?
Yeah, a lot of his family and friends are from
The area.
the area.
That's what I'm getting at. So a lot of your family was actually there already?
They were within 2 hours away.
Okay. And you booked the place sight unseen?
Over the internet, we found it.
Over the internet. But sight unseen. You never went to look at it.
Right.
You never went to look at it? You never had any of your family or friends who live in Arkansas go to look at it?
No, my family is 2 hours away from Arkansas.
That's okay. A 2-hour trip. Which family? You have parents, sisters, brothers?
Sisters, brothers, and
So you say to your brother or your sister, do me a favor, take a ride up to this place. I saw it on the internet. You know, I think it's a nice place. I'd like you to take a look at it and make sure it's, you know, what we think it is. All right. So you went to look at the chapel how much before the wedding?
We showed up a day before the wedding. We had no reason to believe that it wasn't going to be a nice place. The pictures on the internet shows us it's nice. We're not supposed to just assume that it's a, you know, a dump.
Well, that's what you found. According to you, you found that it was a dump, right?
According, yes, but the internet pictures were totally different.
How much of a deposit had you given her?
A $200 deposit.
And she was supposed to provide other things as well. Food, right?
Supply food.
Cake? Now, you got there a day before you saw this place, and it was, according to you, a dump.
Very much so.
So what'd you do?
Spent the whole next day trying to find a new place. I went to the Chamber of Commerce. I went to try to get a hold of her. It took many hours to get a hold of her. The Chamber finally got a hold of her for us. I explained to her that we couldn't get married there. She refused to give us any money back. Then the Chamber actually got a hold of her, and she decided to give us $275 and give us the food and the cakes. But the cake was, in my opinion, unedible. It tasted like the place smelled.
Shh. I'd just like to see some photographs if you have them. I'm not to you yet.
There's before, what it was supposed to look like. And then there's some. We have quite a few that we've taken of what it actually looks like.
Okay.
And if you'll notice, the floor is completely destroyed. And on the internet picture, it looks like the floor is brand new.
This is the picture that you're showing me of what the inside of the chapel looked like on the internet,
Yeah.
right? Do you have this picture?
No.
Well, I can't tell what it looked like, what this picture looked like.
Do they have a picture of it being destroyed, the floor being destroyed?
Yes, we do.
They have pictures of the floor looking a little bit seedy, but
That's where we have to stand when we were getting married.
That doesn't impress me one way or another. One are outside pictures and one are inside
Correct.
pictures. So let me understand this. You gave her a $200 deposit.
Yes.
She gave you back $275, right?
Correct.
She gave you all the food, right?
Correct.
So what do you want?
We paid more than $275. We didn't pay just a $275 deposit.
Well, what did you pay?
Yeah, the total was $857.53. We also had to come up with another $857 to get married somewhere.
On a last minute.
That day, we had to find another place to get married. There was no way we could have got married there.
Based upon the pictures that you showed me, I don't see that there's any way that you couldn't have gotten married there.
Would you have gotten married there?
I don't know. I can't tell from your pictures, sir.
Look at the outside. There's beer bottles
I'm not
outside.
talking about the outside. I'm talking about the inside.
Well, the outside has a lot to do with it.
Listen
Beer
to me. You're
bottles.
talking- Hey, don't speak to him. I'm sorry. You're talking about misrepresentation. Do you understand? You're talking about misrepresentation. You showed me a picture on the internet, this photograph.
Correct.
So what I asked you is, show me this picture of what this area was when you arrived. You don't have that picture. So I cannot make a judgment as to whether this picture misrepresented to you what the place looked like. You got a responsibility. Listen, I made a lot of weddings in my life, got a lot of kids, and I got married a couple of times myself. I never chose a place to get married based upon picture. Never.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tony and Nicole Stouch say they rented Cheryl and Stallings' wedding site via the internet. The Stouches say the location turned out to be a dump.
Now, if she gave you $275 back in cash, plus she gave you all the food for the wedding.
There's no way we could have came up with the food and the cake.
We had to take the food. We didn't want the food. We had less than 24 hours
Did
left.
you have other people cater the wedding?
No, she was
So you
in charge of
used
catering.
that food to feed your people.
If we didn't use that food, we would have been out food and cake. We had to use that food, yes. we
So
did.
you used it. That's what you
Yes,
used to feed
but
your...
it was awful.
I've been to weddings where the chicken was rubbery myself. That doesn't mean that the people sue them.
He works evenings. I work days. There was no possible way to even, I mean, we couldn't have done it.
Let me explain something to you. That's your responsibility.
It's also her responsibility to have a website that the pictures and her place looks like. I mean,
That's your responsibility. You're planning a wedding. Some people may like to plan a wedding in a dungeon. Some people may think it's kinky. Some people like to get married jumping out of airplanes, holding hands with a rabbi. Right? Not my thing. Some people like to get married at the top of a roller coaster. They think that that's interesting. It's not my thing. You were charged with the obligation of choosing a place. You chose this place based upon this picture.
And based on talking to her and telling us how nice it was.
Right. Well, what is she supposed to say? She's supposed to say it's not nice?
Well, it's not nice.
That's your fault. send your sister over to the place and say, listen, we're contemplating doing this place. Do me a favor, take a 2-hour ride. I want to make sure that this place, the whole place, is similar to this one picture that I saw on the internet. You didn't do that.
Every
what are you
internet site-
complaining about? You got married. You had your family and friends there. You had food. The food wasn't great. You know what you do when you do a wedding? You go to the place and you say, this is the place. Good. Now I want a tasting. You're going to supply the food. I like to taste whatever you say that you're going to provide so that I can select a menu. That's what people do. If you're doing this thing over the phone, you run certain risks. You had opportunities. You work days, you work nights. I'm sure that both of you don't work 7 days a week.
6 days.
Well, that's not 7. On the 7th day, you travel. If it's so important to you to see what the place looks like and to select the menu, you get in the car and you go there and take a look to see what it's about. You don't come in kvetching later that the place didn't look nice when I got there. Listen, you got married, be happy. Goodbye. Case is dismissed.
All right, excuse me, you may step out.
The Miracle Mansion is not the place to get married.
I'm not ashamed of my building.
My wedding was pretty much ruined.
And my website pictures are accurate.
It was awful.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Smith versus Smith. Step forward.
60-year-old singer Myrna Smith is suing her daughter-in-law, 33-year-old computer specialist Candy Smith, for an unpaid loan to hire an attorney.
Mrs. Smith, the defendant is your daughter-in-law.
Yes, she is.
According to your complaint, there came a time when your daughter-in-law needed some money. She needed some money for an attorney because she was going to be involved in a custody dispute with her former husband. You have 2 children from your prior marriage, and you loaned her the money,
yes.
$5,000. And it is your claim that she has not repaid you.
She has not repaid.
And your daughter-in-law believes that she has the right to offset that money, and she's going to explain that to me. When did you make this loan?
I made the loan May 1st, 2000.
Do you have the canceled check?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
And this is also my statement.
Okay, what was your agreement with regard to repaying this loan?
She told me what she would do would, on her pay days, she would deposit money into my account. However, that did not happen. So finally I went to my son and I asked when she would start making the repayments, and she decided that she would make the payments, but she wanted to put them into my savings account instead of my checking account. And I felt she had no right to know what was in my savings account. And she was very inquisitive about my money and how it was spent.
Okay, and as of today's date, you have received no money from this $5,000. And you acknowledge that, but for your defense, you did not repay this money out of paychecks or anything else.
No.
Okay, now I'll hear your defense.
Actually, what happened was that at this time, when we had moved into the house, she had given
What
me...
house?
We had purchased a house together. She had actually sold her previous residence, and she had used the down payment to purchase a house so that we all can live together, and we were sort of helping each other out.
And help yourselves as well.
Right, and help
All right,
ourselves.
so what was the arrangement? She put the down payment on this new house.
Correct.
How much was the down payment on the new house?
$100,000.
She put down the $100,000 on a house that you were all living in together.
Correct, and it was under my husband's name.
Was there a mortgage on this house?
Yes, there was.
How much was the mortgage?
$185,000.
And I gather from your papers that you and your husband make the mortgage payments.
Correct.
How much were the mortgage payments?
$1,703.
$1,703. And how many people from your family, you and your husband, you have a child together?
Yes, we have 1 child together and 2 children from my previous marriage.
So there are 5 of you all together.
Correct.
And how many people, other than your mother-in-law, were living in the house?
The grandmother and also the uncle.
Grandmother or uncle paying any money towards the house?
He needs to answer. I can't answer.
Step up. Mr. Smith, how much money was your uncle paying to the house?
My uncle was scheduled to pay $400 a month, but unfortunately that rarely happened.
What about your grandmother?
No, nothing.
Okay. How many months did you live in the house?
To conclude January, 8 months.
How many mortgage payments did you make? Because that's your defense to this action. How many mortgage payments did you personally make?
Roughly 8 months.
You have proof of those payments?
Show her proof that you were being mortgaged.
What is that?
This is the household account that my son and I had to make payments for anything regarding the house. This is how our bills were paid.
Can I see? And I'll see your checks for the mortgage payments.
Unfortunately, that I do not have. I didn't know that was going to come into question.
You have a bill, though, right?
I have a bill.
No, I don't need a bill. I need the mortgage payments. Your defense, Mrs. Smith, is that it wasn't working out and the house was going to be sold, wasn't working out with all you folks living together, and your mother-in-law insisted that the deed be turned back to her.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and you believe that you can set off the number of mortgage payments that you made on the house against the $5,000 that you owe her. That's your defense.
No,
in a
not
nutshell.
exactly. Not
Well,
exactly. I'm sorry. Can I clear this up? Okay, my defense is that because of some illegal activities that took place, we had no other choice but to move.
No. I don't want to hear that.
Yes, we had to move out of the house within 2 weeks. We had told her we were selling the house because of what was going on. With the money that we had, we had to actually use a lot of money to leave the house when we shouldn't have had to leave the house.
Is that your defense?
We shouldn't have to have.
Just a second. Is that your defense?
Well, yes.
That because of what you perceive to be some illegal activity that was going on in the house, you chose to move, which was a very good judgment, and you believe that your mother-in-law owes you money, the money that you had to spend to find a new place.
Right. That is included with the money that we spent with the mortgage. This is all tied together.
Well, so I've got to eliminate your first defense. Your first defense is no defense. Now let's get to the mortgage payments that you say you made. Do you have any other checks?
And the only checks that I would use for the mortgage payments was the household account.
Okay, and who put money into the household account?
It was my wife, myself, and then my mother.
And your mother?
Yes.
Well, how much money did you put into
And
the
my brother.
Just a minute. How much money, and for the $400, and how much money did you put into the account every month?
$1,900 a month I put into that account.
Now, my next question to you is the house was sold.
Actually, my son went and got a $20,000 loan that I didn't know about.
Loan for what? Against the house?
Yes.
Did you get a $20,000 loan against the house?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay it back?
I didn't have an opportunity to.
No, did you pay it back?
I was paying the loan back to the people that I got the loan from.
Did you put in any money towards the down payment?
Towards the down payment, no.
So she has $100,000 in down payment. Right.
Okay.
She has $100,000. You have Zippo. You can't offset. I mean, first of all, you can't offset it anyway, but it's not even reasonable to offset it. Because if your mother goes to sell the house now, there's a $20,000 loan that you took out that's going to be deducted from the sale price of that house. Did you consult with your mother before you took out this loan? Did she say it was okay?
I didn't need to. I didn't need her permission on that.
Well, you don't need her permission on this either. You owe her $5,000. That's what you owe her. That's what you borrowed. That's what you repay. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step up. Yeah, this is case number 257 on the calendar in the matter of Lamont versus Williford. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Lamont, according to the complaint, the defendant is your ex-boyfriend, and you claim that you loaned him some money.
Yes.
The defendant says that you actually owe him money because a while ago you wrecked his car or truck. First, tell me about this truck. You were driving his truck. Under what circumstances?
I believe it was in March of 2000.
Yes.
He drove me to Sacramento to go to court there. And on our way back, I had lived in Sacramento and I received a ticket that I had to go back and pay when I had returned to LA.
Okay.
And on the way back, he asked me to drive so he could sleep. And so I drove. And on the way back, to avoid getting an accident, I swerved off the road and hit a guardrail.
And there was damage to his car?
Yeah. And he never asked me to fix it.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Cold-hearted. She's lying, Your Honor.
Are you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished. As long as you are.
We're going to have a problem.
You take any prescribed medication, sir?
No, ma'am, I ain't on no...
Quiet. You take any prescribed medication?
No, ma'am, I ain't on no prescribed medication.
You take any other kind of medication?
No, ma'am.
Then behave yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car was it that was in this accident?
A Ford Ranger.
What year?
99, I believe.
There came a time when you gave him some money towards having the car fixed, according to you. $1,500?
It actually, because I had wrecked the car and he had never asked me to repay him, I decided that when I got the money that I received in the settlement, that I would take it upon myself to take responsibility for the fact that I did crash his truck, and I gave him $1,500.
Okay, that's not the money that you're suing for.
No.
What money are you suing for?
At the same time that I gave him the $1,500, he also asked to borrow $2,000 because he had gone into some trouble.
What kind of trouble? Doesn't surprise me.
You know, I don't exactly know, but...
What do you think? Tell me what you think, Miss Lamont.
He had gotten in trouble with a drug dealer.
And he needed $2,000?
Yes.
Did he tell you what would happen to him if he didn't give this drug dealer $2,000?
You know, I could only assume at that time from...
So you gave him the $2,000. That's the money that you're suing for.
That I loaned him, yes.
Now, you had a 99 automobile in the year 2000. Had you purchased it for payments or had you paid cash for it?
I paid payments, ma'am.
So if you made payments on the car, the bank requires that you have insurance.
That's correct.
And did you have the car fixed after it was in the accident?
Yes, ma'am. I have the papers right here to show that.
He didn't have insurance.
What?
He didn't have insurance.
Well,
he didn't have his license.
You weren't even driving. It ain't your car. You don't know.
Don't speak to her. Remember what I said. Mr. Williford tells me he had insurance, which he must do by law if he's got a financed car. Isn't that right, Bert?
That's absolutely right, Judge.
And I assume that if you had a financed car, they allow you to have some sort of a deductible, usually $500. Is that
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So you had out-of-pocket expense of $500.
No, that's wrong.
Well, how could it be wrong, sir? That's the way insurance works.
Well, I didn't go through insurance, man, because she was an unlicensed driver, and she had made the promise to me that she was going to pay me back the damage. Here's the
That's a lie,
estimate
Your
from the
Honor.
car.
No.
She was
That's
gonna
what
pay
you
me.
have insurance for, Mr. Williford.
Yeah, but then your insurance claims go up. I gotta pay more per month. It wasn't worth it. I'd rather pay the cash and get it fixed at the dealership.
Is that what you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And that's what your choice was. If you asked the plaintiff to drive your car, and according to you, you knew she was an unlicensed driver, then you took that risk. And if you choose not to go through your insurance, she would certainly be liable for the $500 deductible, because that would have been your out-of-pocket expense. You chose not to do that. Now, in addition to the $1,500 that she gave you to fix the car, you said she gave you another $2,000. What do you claim that was for, Mr. Williford?
I had the $2,000 that she gave me was for fixing my car, a down payment towards the $4,800 total damage. I don't know about no $1,500. I only know about $2,000.
Your Honor, I have the return check.
May I see it, please?
It's for $3,100, and also there, and these are the
Well,
statements.
$2,000 and $1,500 does not add up to $3,100. Even I know that.
My money was in my mom's account. Since I had already given him $400, I was only going to give him $1,100 to total $1,500 for what I was giving him, plus the $2,000 he wanted to borrow.
I got you. To the best of your knowledge, has Mr. Williford had any other trouble with drug dealers?
Probably. That was his lifestyle.
Even when you were together?
I had moved away to Sacramento, and in that time, 6 months period, when I came back, he was a total